I'm Sam Barker, and this is Jack Schlafly. We're here, the second round matchup between Jefferson Dragons and the Westminster Wildcats, and this is WCAT.
Jefferson, Georgia. The next stop on the Wildcats' path to victory. The motivated Cats take on the 10-1 Jefferson Dragons tonight on the road. After their heartbreaking loss to Dublin last year, the Wildcats hope to change history and advance to the quarterfinals for the first time since 2003. The Cats are feeling great after last week's remarkable 34-0 win against Pepperell, but Coach Romberg isn't resting yet.
Still not consistent on offense like we'd like to be.
The Cats have practiced hard this Thanksgiving and will leave it all on the field. They hope to continue their winning streak as they aim for the ultimate pride, the state championship.
Charlie Trent snapping to Jake 40. He's got a new holder this week. Kick is off. Plenty of leg. Should be in there. And it's good. And the Cats have tied it up off the magical toe of 82. Harrison Butker, we've been riding the Butker train all year. Watch out for Big Joe Bridges on the left side of that line at tight end. Nigel standing behind Jake 40 under center. They're going to give it to 33 around the corner. Nigel's going to go. Watch Nigel Walker get in. Nigel Walker. They're going to fake the pass play action. The swing pass picked up. That's Harrison Woodward. He's going to take it in. Number 48, the middle linebacker, pick it off and knowing what to do. So 3rd and 9, Cats knocking on the door, probably in scoring formation. They're going to hit it off to Connor Bennett, trying to get around that left side. Stop! He cut back, Connor Bennett up the seam. He may go! Connor Bennett going in for the touchdown, and the Cats take the lead. Here comes 82. Oh, it's a fake play. They kick it in to Joe Bridges. He's going to drag it to Harrison Woodward. Touchdown! That was Jake 40 on the inside pitch. The 48, Harrison Woodward. Jake in shotgun. Reed Love dancing down the right. We're going to roll right. Number 3 looks open, but not enough. Nigel fell down, and he's going to throw it deep. He's got a guy. Touchdown! That's number 27. Merritt Huber on the catch of the year from Jake 40. Merritt Huber doing it both ways. Big hit last week. Touchdown tonight. He's handled this earlier. He's going to keep it himself. Follow Q and run up that middle and get it. That's Cameron Seward running up the gut and going in for the score behind Quentin Bennett, smelling it and tasting it and going in for the touchdown. Oh, we're going to give it over to Cole Haverty. He's going to turn it in. Cole Haverty goes in for the score. Number 47, the underclassman, the sophomore, turns it upfield, and the Cats take control of this game. About that, Jake 40 now going to hand it off to Cameron. He'll keep it himself. They've got nobody. Jake is going to go around the right side. Watch 40 go. Taking it to the house for number 10. Jake 40 on the keeper. Touchdown number 2.
Giving so much pressure on this quarterback, messing up all.
Oh, it's picked off again, Joe Bridges, and he's going to take it to the house. 49, Joe Bridges picks it off on the flat and takes it all the way home. Pick 6, 49. Jake's going to try to throw it. He's got setting up a screen. Very dangerous pass. Connor Bennett with a circus catch that gets across the 40. Connor Bennett with a one-hander. What a catch by 28. And Jake's going to give it to Cameron. He's going in. And the Cats take control of the game. Cameron Seward runs it in for the 1. Touchdown. Snap is on. Wow, is it kicked? He kicked that like it owes him money. And it's over the fence. He kicked that out the front gate. It's by the Exxon station. We rode him all last week. We're trying to ride him again tonight. Trying to kick this through from about 38 yards. Normally a tough kick for a high schooler. Good snap. Kick is plenty of leg. Harrison Butker taking control of this game and winning it for the Westminster Wildcats. What a kick by Harrison Butker.
Thanks. Now, I'm Sam Barkin here with Jack Schlafly. We're at the second round of the state playoffs, like I said. And, Jack, last week the Cats played Pepperell in their first round matchup. They had a great win, 30-0.
You know, Pepperell was a pretty good team. What we played, in my opinion, the best game of the season. Our defense, really stepped up, held them to a shutout, and our offense put up 34 points. And, our offense really clicked, and we established a running game early. And, when that happens, the air just opens up.
Right you are, Jack. Well, on the Jefferson side, they're 9-1 this season. Their coach is T. McFerrin, and they average 38.1 points per game. And we're going to send it right back out to Ben with tonight's call.
Thanks a lot, Sam. I'm here with Sam Pastor Thank you, Sam. I'm here with Sam Pastor, and Cole Lacasio will be joining us shortly as soon as you guys finish your opening thoughts. Here's Harrison Butker to kick it away. It is into the end zone, out of the back of the end zone, as usual for Harrison Butker. And so Jefferson will get the ball at the 20-yard line to start the game. Westminster won the toss, elected to defer, so they'll get the ball to start the second half. Sam, any thoughts during the dead balls?
Well, we both have good kickers. I watched our kicker warm up in the pregame. He kicks it very far. I'm not sure about his accuracy, but it's going to be a battle of kickers today, and they've got a great quarterback. Hopefully there's going to be a new sheriff in town.
You're exactly right. That quarterback, that is Bryant Sheriffs.
Oh, and there's a fumble.
And now there's a fumble. It looks like Hayes-Meyer has it. He's coming down the left side, and he is pushed out of bounds. What a way to start the game for Westminster. Hayes-Meyer with the fumble recovery runs it back inside the 20-yard line. Westminster will start the game with great field position.
Yeah, and that was a try to do a screen pass there to start off the game to number 12, McKay Dickens, but I mean he just fumbled it, straight up fumbled. It was a good play by the defense.
And for Hayes, I think that's his second fumble recovery of the year. He also has 3 interceptions. That's tops on the team. So here's Jake Forty under center. He's got Hayes out to his left, and that looks like maybe Chris Otley down there. It's going to be Cameron Seward. He gets the carry. He'll take it up the middle for a good 5 or 6 yards. Cameron Seward with some tough running right there up the middle. So it'll be second and what looks to be about 5, maybe we'll call it 4, second and 3 they put on the scoreboard. Second and 3 for the Wildcats. Great way to start the game, Sam.
It is, and they've used Cameron Seward in a lot of different spots in this offense. They've used him as the running back, as a slot, and wide out. He's kind of like the Dexter McCluster of our team. Dexter McCluster's on the Kansas City Chiefs. He's a great hybrid player.
And he's got 290 rushing yards on the season, as well as, 97 receiving yards. So
that's
that
another
was Cameron
good run.
Again, gets it. That's good enough for a first down. He gets it inside the 10-yard line. That'll move the chains. First and goal for Westminster. We'll see if they can cash this one in.
And that's a great sound. I mean, I bet Mac might use that, the sound of the moving the chains, because I mean the Wildcats, I believe that's the second time. No, that's the first time. I'm sorry, I just
moved the chains.
But we're just moving them quite slightly, very well. Very well moving of the chains.
So we got Sloan Schuler, offset eye. We got Sloan Schuler back there as the fullback with Cameron Seward as the halfback. We're going to give it right back to Cameron. We're just going to keep riding him all night. We'll see. He's down inside the 5, keeps pushing forward. Tough running by Cameron Seward. That'll get him down to what looks like the 3. So Westminster very efficient here on the ground early to start the game.
Yeah, it's always good to start off with a ground game so then we can set up the pass. Because Jake Forty, I mean, although he didn't have a lot of passing yards the last game, we played a very good game against Pepperell, possibly the best all season. And every team needs a good rushing attack to counteract that good passing attack.
So here's Jake Forty under center. Lone back is Cameron Seward. He's been in all game. We'll see if they stick to the ground right here. Here comes Ross Johnson over there, number 43. And Cameron is into the end zone! Touchdown, Westminster.
Let's go!
Cameron Seward puts the Cats up 6-0 with just a little over 10 minutes here left in the first quarter.
Wow.
Started with a Hayes-Meyer fumble recovery on the first play of the game for the Dragons. And Cameron Seward no one else but Cameron Seward got the ball on that last play. And Cameron was just, quite honestly, a beast, driving it down inside the 20. And so here's Harrison Butker on to kick the extra point. Westminster will use that kind of weird huddle formation thing. And so right after Harrison kicks this extra point, we assume he'll kick it right through to John Sanders, who's waiting back there by the track.
And that was a very consistent. I mean, I believe we ran the same play 4 straight times.
And that's Trevor Rowland. Couldn't quite come up with it right there. Good effort there by Trevor. But right now we're going to send it back down to Sam Barkin and Jack Schlafly.
Thanks, Ben. Well, Jack, as you were
and
in the first round, Jefferson did beat Kendrick High School 42-8. That was quite a win for them.
And, you know, some great stats from that game for them. They held Kendrick to 0 yards passing. You know, obviously we've started off pretty well here, but their defense is stout in the air.
Now, who are some Jefferson key players to watch? And the key player, number 15, is Bryant Sheriffs. Can you tell us a little bit about him?
Well, Sheriffs is a really quick guy. He runs a 4.6 40, so he gets out of the pocket, and we got to contain him just like we did last game. Pepperell also had a fast quarterback, and that's very key. Just not letting the quarterback add another dimension to this game.
Who are some other impact players for the Jefferson squad?
Well, they do have a good running back, but they have a guy out this week that really is key, and
That's number 52.
and he is a good player, so that might hurt him.
Now we're going to go right back to Ben and Sam with the call.
Thanks, Sam. Here's Harrison Butker set to kick the second kickoff of the game for Westminster. If you remember, he kicked the first one, and Jefferson turned it over immediately after. This one is way out of the end zone. That's Charlie Colley. Good play by him, fielding that one off the bounce.
There's a lot of sophomore ball boys here. They've got a nice little trio added. Trevor Rowland today had a little tryout for him.
So you got Charlie Colley, John Sanders, Trevor Rowland. You got Harrison Fivash.
Just a great squad
among a host of
major
ball boys.
I mean, there's been some very good special teams, especially on the kicking side. We haven't seen the Jefferson kicker kick his kickoff yet, but I suppose he'll kick it out of the end zone. I saw him kick some before, and he was jacking them very far.
Yeah, I was watching him before the game on his kickoffs, almost Harrison Butker-like. So here's Sheriffs under center. He'll hand it off to the fullback. He'll get a few yards. We'll call it 5 up to the 25-yard line.
And I think they're just trying to be a little bit sure-handed here. They don't want to suffer another fumble.
And that was Tristan Jackson there on the carry.
They've got. I'm not sure how good the rushing attack is, but just judging from the size of their line, they look like they could definitely push some people back, especially in that 10-1 year that they had. A great year for them.
And last week we saw that Pepperell line was enormous. So here's Sheriffs. He'll look to his right. He has no one. He's going to scramble. Here comes Joe Bridges out to knock him out of bounds, and then sliding underneath him was Nelson Douglas.
And Sheriffs isn't. Sheriffs is really not. He's not like he's an athlete. He played against us in basketball last year as a junior, and he dropped 27 points on the Cats.
I remember that game.
In basketball. I mean, he's a great all-around athlete, just shown by this just that rush out on the outside.
Yeah,
to the outside.
Dual threat quarterback.
Should I say? Yes. So we shouldn't think that we're going to come in here and just take a cakewalk of a victory. I never understood that cakewalk. What was it? I wonder where it came from.
It's just cakewalks are easy to do.
Right.
So they're going to give it off to 30 again. That's Tristan Jackson, I believe. Yep. He'll get it. He'll be stopped for a loss. Forward progress will mark him at about the 29. So third down and short. They're gonna spot it right at the 30. We'll see.
I think that's
the
second down and 10.
Second and 10. So they got the first down on the last play.
Little trouble with the changing of the signs there, but it is second and 10 right now from no gain.
Sheriff's in the gun with Jackson to his right, and we got a penalty. It looks like it is going to be an offsides against Westminster.
And they are doing the call where all the linemen just jump to the ground. And that's very confusing, especially for a line. We haven't really dealt with that very much this season. But a lot of teams do it to draw teams off sides, and it's very effective as it's seen here.
So we got 2nd and 5 for Jefferson at the 35-yard line. Putting together a nice little drive early here, eating some time off the clock. We'll see if Westminster will use their defense again to stop Jefferson. So Joe Bridges almost got his hand on that one. And that's a good tackle out there by Nelson Douglas, the junior.
That was a very generous spot. That might be enough for the first. Oh no, I could not see. They're about a yard short.
A yard short. About.
So they might just hand it to good old Tristan
Jackson.
Tristan Jackson. Maybe try to get just a couple of yards. And there it is again.
And they're gonna. It looked like the halfback number 2. That was Sammy Williams tried to call a timeout.
Was that 22? Number 2.
Sammy Williams tried to call a timeout, but it looked like the flag was down before. But another offsides against Westminster. Penalties, Sam, this year have really been something that have eaten Westminster up.
They have. Penalties are always bad for each team, but especially for this Westminster Wildcats team. We just need to stay a little bit well-disciplined and make sure that we just don't give them up any easy yards.
So that first down will give that penalty will give Jefferson a first down. Here's Sheriff's in the option. He's going to hand it off. That's Sammy Williams coming off the near side.
He's got some speed.
His right. Yeah, you're right, showing the speed. He's up to about midfield. Yeah, they're going to spot it just in between the 49 and the 50-yard line.
And we've already seen, we've seen that speed by number 2. And but I mean, we also just saw number 22, who is Isaiah Blake, who's their starting running back, and we've seen his speed as well, and we're gonna have a lot of trouble with this speed of Jefferson.
So here's Sheriffs in the I formation. He's gonna hand it off to Sammy Williams. Tough running. He's across midfield down to the 45. Looks like Cameron Seward was in on that tackle for the Cats.
And there goes out Russell Uday. We're going to just have to deal with this speed, as I've talked about a little bit earlier. They have a lot of speed around that edge. We're going to need to just set the edge with our cornerbacks, Nigel Walker and Jake Johnson. Just make sure they can't get to the outside.
And we got Cole Acasio, who's got his mics hooked up and everything. Cole's ready to go. Cole, what's impressed you or what's stuck out to you so far in the early going here with just under 7 minutes left in the first quarter?
Well, the Cats certainly had a break with that fumble to start the game.
So here's Sheriffs in the option. He's sandwiched by Harrison Woodward and Cameron Seward, the Wildcats' leading tacklers, so they'll both get an assisted tackle on that, add to their stats. So Sheriffs is across the 40-yard line. He's at the 38, we'll call it. They're going to say 2nd and 3.
Yes, 2nd and 3. And they haven't even had to worry about 3rd down yet so far. They've just been getting it on 2nd down.
Yeah, they had that one 3rd and 1, but Westminster jumped off sides on that one and gave Jefferson a first down, an easy first down on that one. So here's Sheriffs. He's in the I formation. They're going to run that option again. And Sheriffs has some running room. Here comes Jake Johnson and Cameron Seward bring down Sheriffs. Bryant Sheriffs inside the 20.
He shows that dual threat running ability, and he hasn't shown his passing ability. They've just done some screens here. But, I mean, they're doing this hurry-up offense that you see a lot of college and pro teams doing. So that's going to cause a lot of trouble for the defense because we can't get a lot of substitutions out.
Yeah, both sides running the ball early and often here, Cole.
And the combination of the tempo and the fast speed by this Jefferson offense is wearing our defense out.
Ooh, it looked like Clay Smith almost had him right there. He's going to give it to 30. That's Tristan Jackson once again. He looks like he's around the 5-yard line. So
that
Jefferson,
should be enough for the first down.
Jefferson's going to get that first down. It's going to be 1st and goal. The drive started, Sam and Cole, with 10:02 left in the quarter. There's now 5:49 left in the quarter. So a time-eating, time-consuming, effective drive here for Jefferson in really their first drive of the quarter, because that first one ended with the fumble.
Exactly. This drive has been just very effective. They've just been moving the ball easily down the field. We just need to get a couple of stops so that we can just stop them and make them have to rethink about what they want to use as their play next.
So that was Bryant Sheriffs taking it himself, running over to the right side. Off the field comes Nelson Douglas. He lost his helmet on that play. So and we'll have a substitution. That's number 28. Let's see. That's Connor Bennett coming on for the Wildcats. What a valuable asset he was last game.
And if he was in college, then he would have to come out for one play. But he's coming out anyway because he has to fix that helmet.
Gotta go with the safety first, Cole. So here's Sheriffs. Westminster fans making some noise on 2nd and 2 here. Sheriffs is going to hand it off to Jackson. He's stuffed at the line. Great job by Westminster. Busting through. Looked like Sam Allen was in on that tackle. He's getting up from the pile. He's among a host of Westminster defenders getting in on that tackle. Great job of stopping Jackson at the line there, Cole.
Great job by the Cats defensive line to stuff through on that Dragons offensive line.
All right, so time ticking. Still a lengthy Jefferson drive. 4:43, 4:42. Counting down left in the first quarter. Remember, it's not too late to come out here to Georgia. Catch some Friday Night Lights action out here. Jefferson's got a great field, and there are a few empty seats here in the Westminster stands, and we could use your attendance. So we're gonna have a timeout.
Jefferson.
It's gonna be Jefferson calls the timeout. Remember, Wildcat fans, you can follow WCAT on Twitter at Westminster WCAT. Like us on Facebook, type in Westminster WCAT in the search bar. We'll give you a shout out on the air if you're lucky, and if you're lucky and you follow us on Twitter.
It's a hot commodity to get those.
Yeah.
I mean, it's It's like when you go to a very nice hotel and they have just that amazing shampoo, and you're just like, yes,
Or
I'm very excited
when
about
the
that
shower
shampoo.
has better water pressure than all the other showers.
I mean, I'm telling you, the water pressure in the shampoo,
if you
those
get the
toiletries,
combination, you get the combination, that can make for a very nice vacation.
And you know what else can make a very, very nice combination is this Wildcat defense and offense. This defense could make a great stop on the goal line right here.
Yeah, they've been solid in the red zone all year. As last game, Pepperell had a
we
number
need
of
all-
opportunities to score, and Westminster held them in the red zone.
We need all of our good toiletries on defense to just step up and stop them here on this goal line.
Great analogy. Sam Pastor has all the analogies. Sam knows. So here's Bryant Sheriffs. He's got Tristan Jackson in the backfield with him, along as with Sammy Williams. They've been the two backs. Here's Williams. He's going to take it to the left side, and it looks like he doesn't have it. Sammy Williams was stopped at the line. Another great stand by Westminster. We'll see if Jefferson will elect to go for it or kick the field goal here. They have a great field goal kicker, as we mentioned.
And
offense is staying on the field, so they're down at their own at the Westminster 1 yard line. They're going to try to go for it. Let's see if Westminster can come up with one more magical play here.
That would be just absolutely stellar. That would make my night.
Westminster fans are on their feet, stomping those feet on the bleachers, making some noise. Here's the play, and Sheriffs is going to be, we'll see, Jefferson players signaling touchdown, and they're going to give it to him.
On 4th down, a good play call. They ran it to the right side and pushed it down a little bit into the goal line. That was a very close call, though.
Tough break for Westminster. They played defense. They played great defense all through 1st, 2nd, 3rd down. On 4th down, it was Sheriffs on the QB sneak, a little Tom Brady-like on that play.
I think I'm going to be pushing instant replay on high school football in a little bit. Oh, there's some flags that are flying. So we'll see what this is about.
If it's against Westminster, you know, the penalty
It
really
is
doesn't
against
matter.
Westminster.
So they'll do half the distance to the goal. So extra point will be from the 1 yard line instead of the 2. So we'll see if that affects the play at all.
Coach Romberg cannot be very happy about all these penalties right now.
Yeah, I think we've already got 3 or 4 on the game.
Exactly. On this one drive, actually.
So here's Chandler Schlutow on for the extra point. He's got it.
And
that ties the game at 7. So we're going to send it back down to Sam Barkin and Jack Schlafly for their final thoughts on what was going to be the pregame show.
Well, thank you, Ben. Jack, as we've seen so far, offense and defense really are key, but specifically the running game, which Cameron Seward did on that first drive, and that run defense to contain their great running back at number 2 and their quarterback, Sheriffs.
Well, you know, our run game really started off well, and I think it was a good choice to use Cameron Seward. He's got some good size. He's going to get against a run defense that's pretty stout. You know, on the other side of the ball, Bryant's been playing pretty well so far. They've run a lot of somewhat option-like plays. It definitely confuses the linebackers, and they've got to make sure they've got their next thing.
That is very important. Well, thanks, Jack. I'm Sam Barkin, and we're going to go back to Ben and Sam and Cole for tonight's call. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, Sam. Great job on the pregame show, you and Jack. We got
always stellar.
So here's Chandler Schlutow on the kickoff. They're just going to pooch it out there. Westminster's got to recover it. They do. That's going to be Cameron Seward who dives on it. Guys, that last drive for Jefferson started at the 10:02 mark and ended at the 3:42 mark. So, lengthy drive, time-consuming. Got to hand it to Jefferson on that one.
Yeah, Jefferson's offensive drive on that last one was 13 plays for 80 yards and 11 rushes for 54 yards with only 2 passes for 18.
Wow, that's offensive,
very impressive
movement right there.
So here comes Westminster breaking the huddle. We got Jake Forty in the shotgun. Sloan Schuler lined up to his left. We're set up for pass. Forty has a guy. He's going to run away. Good scrambling. He's going to need to throw it away. And he's going to look for McLean Bradley, and it got tipped around a little bit, and it falls incomplete. Good job of Jake Forty evading the pressure there and getting that ball out before he got sacked.
That was almost a coverage sack right there. They're covering our wide receivers very well. And Jake Forty, just great movement out of the pocket. Always one of the best. He's one of the best quarterbacks so far this year for the Cats. he's the starter, so that sounds about right. But he ran out to his left and couldn't find anybody. Luckily, that wasn't picked off.
Yeah, that's
So-
one of those plays where Jake really needs to throw the ball away.
Yeah, he was trying to get McLean Bradley there, but he put a little bit too much air under it so they could
here's
get
Connor.
back.
No, Hayes Meyer with the catch. Looks like it's good for 5 or 6 yards.
Or 7.
So that's going to be 3rd and looks like 4 for
3rd and
Westminster. Ball in the 20, spotted on the 26-yard line.
And
Off the field comes Kyle Murphy.
it's always hard to see where the ball is going to be spotted because there's all those players sitting there and the refs are standing in front of it, so it's hard to see exactly where they're spotting
Tough
it.
to get a first
But
read
the
on.
refs are always doing a great job.
So here's Jake 40 under center. He's got Cameron Seward behind him. We're going to hand it off to Cameron, and he won't get much. He's stopped for a loss there. So that'll bring up 4th down for Westminster, and on comes the punt unit. Harrison Butker will step back and look to pin Jefferson inside their own 20-yard line here. That could be a tough task.
They have a 2-man return back there with number 22 and number 26. I know that 22 has a lot of speed, I suppose, since 26 is on the return team. He's got a lot of speed too, but they only have 1 on our gunners over there. So hopefully we can get down there and a couple people unblocked and get down there and get their returners.
So here comes the snap from Charlie Trent's the long snapper. Butker's kick is away, and it's going to be caught at the 40-yard line. And he muffs it. And who's got it?
It looks like we have it.
We'll see what the refs say.
And there's a huge scrum on the field.
And, you know, in those scrums, anything can happen. You can yank the ball away. It's almost fair game as the refs can't really see anything down there. It looks like Jefferson's going to keep the ball as there's no indication from the Westminster
they
players.
they did get the ball.
So, unfortunately, Westminster can't catch that break. The Jefferson guy muffed it, the return man, and some Westminster players fell on it, but unfortunately they just couldn't corral that one. So
I'm not sure what happens. What happens under the pile stays under the pile, but you never know what happens. I guess they ended up with the ball, and but hopefully we can get the ball back after just a quick 3-and-out right here.
Well, you're right, Sam. It did look like there were a lot of white jerseys in that pile. Looked like we would come up with it.
So Bryant Sheriffs is back under center. He's got 2 running backs that are going to go into an I formation. That's Jackson and Williams. The pitch is going to be to Williams. He gets, looks like 8 or 9 yards on that play. That should be 2nd down and 1 or 2.
And there's a reason why Jefferson is 10-1. It's not just they didn't just walk through those games like it was nobody's business. They have a lot of speed, and they're just a good team. They average about 42 points per game, and that's always formidable, even in a high school game.
Exactly right. So here's Sheriffs. He's going to be under center as we've seen him do most of the game. And again, they're going to go to that I formation. They start in what looks kind of like a wishbone, and they just move into an I formation.
Right. It's very confusing because you can't see a lot over those linemen, and then when they're doing a lot of movement back there, you don't really know where the ball is going to go because they're doing a lot of ball fakes and whoosy-whatsies and magician-like things in the backfield back there.
Pure witchcraft.
Witchcraft and tomfoolery. And it's very hard to see when you're on that defense to see where the ball is going. So you kind of have to go with instinct. Some people guarding the ball and some people guarding different men in the backfield, and that's what the game plan's all about.
That's what keeps coaches up late at night throughout the whole season. So a timeout was called.
So if you ever see any of these coaches, maybe just give them, not like, if you're a doctor, then you can give them some sleeping pills to help them sleep at night, so then they know. Because, I wouldn't want them to do it illegally, but,
right.
Obviously give them some prescription or something.
As J. Tom Morgan taught us, you can't share medicine with anyone else.
Exactly.
That's
But these are some very good coaches. Coach Romberg, is it over 200 wins? Is that?
I believe so.
And, we're just have a great coaching staff, and if you ever see him, just give him a nice handshake and say thanks for a great season, Coach. But hopefully this doesn't end here. We can keep the ball rolling and win this game in a great stadium in Jefferson. And so they're going to get the ball right here around the 46.
Here's Bryant Sheriffs. They're going to move into that I formation once again. Sheriffs is going to keep it this time. He's going to roll out. He's being pressured. Sam Allen can't get there, and Sheriffs is going to run around. He's moving all over the field and finally brought down at the 20-yard line by some of those Westminster defenders. Sheriffs just kind of put some moves on and used his pure speed there, Cole, to get away from those Westminster defenders sneaking into the backfield.
And the Cats need to use a similar defensive scheme as they did last week of containing the quarterback. They haven't been able to do that all night, and they've been burned for many rushing yards.
Very much so.
So, here's Sheriffs, and we'll see if they move into the I formation again. They do. So, at this point, it's not really trickery anymore. They're going to hand it off to Williams, and he's going to be stopped in the backfield for a loss.
What a play!
That was Hayes Meyer getting in there on the tackle. He's one of the team's leading tacklers coming into this game. He had 52 total tackles. That's third on the team. Great season for Hayes Meyer. He's been arguably the best defensive player for Westminster Cole this year, as he has 3 interceptions and 2 fumble recoveries, including the one tonight, and 52 tackles.
And a great play there to keep the Dragons out of the red zone, as they're now at the 26-yard line, 2nd and 15.
Westminster really needs a stop here. They've been good all year with defense on a short field. We'll see if they can keep Sheriffs in check. He's going to roll out once again and use his feet again. Oh, looked like Harrison Woodward couldn't bring him down, and he's going to run out of bounds with 37 seconds left in the first quarter. Game tied 7-7. Bit of a chilly night out here in Jefferson, Georgia, but if you bundle up, it's not too late to come out here and catch some football.
And the clock is going to stop as Sheriffs ran out of bounds. So it looks like the refs are kind of compiling around in the about at the 20-yard line. There's no flag, so it's going to be a first down.
Ball spotted at the 18-yard line.
Right, and so now they're going to be in the red zone this time. So, but I mean, our defense has played very well all year long, and I don't expect them to any different tonight.
And last week they played what was possibly their best defense of the whole year. Here's Sheriff's dropping back to throw. He's got all kinds of time, and he's going to check down to Jackson right there, and he's brought down by Clay Smith, the senior, number 75, one of the captains tonight for Westminster. And he's done a great job all year, Cole.
Yes, they have, but that Cats defensive line is storming, and they're getting the pressure on the quarterback, but they just have to finish the play and contain him and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it's tough to contain a speedy player such as Sheriff's, but the Cats are up to the challenge, I'm sure. So, here is the play. Nope, there's going to be...
That's going to be the end of the first quarter.
So, at the end of one, the game is tied 7-7. It's going to be 4th down for Jefferson and 4 yards to go. We're going to bring on Chuck Easley now to bring you one of the calls, and Keller Austin is making his way over here for the second quarter. Both teams in their huddles. Players getting water, getting rested again. We're making some changes ourselves, getting some new announcers in here.
Yeah.
And now we're joined by Chuck Easley. Chuck, good to have you tonight.
Great to be here. Great to be here.
That was a great first quarter. We both had 2 good drives. We started a little bit closer to the goal line than they did on their drive. They had a very long and treacherous drive, but I mean they just moved the ball so well on that one drive, and now they're 4th down. They're going to have to decide whether they want to kick it or go for it again.
Yeah, I agree. The interesting thing will be really what type of kicker they have. The kickoff early, I didn't know if that was planned or if that's just the best that he could do. So
I think it was planned, because watching him,
I hope it was.
Watching him warm up, he was booting him through the uprights.
Yeah, I didn't know if he had maybe hurt his leg or something with the cold weather. I don't know, but it was obviously a unique kind of play.
So we're now joined by the gloved Keller Austin. He's up here in our booth with us. So
it's
Keller,
a cold one tonight.
It really is. We just mentioned it. I kind of wish I had brought some gloves myself. Would have been nice. Always got to keep those fingers warm.
I learned my lesson last week at Pepperell.
Right.
That was a cold one.
Here's Sheriffs. He's brought down by Cameron Seward, team's 2nd leading tackler coming into this game. He had 60 tackles on the year, and he's just a junior, so we'll have him back for one more year. But that run by Sheriffs was good enough for a first down for Jefferson.
Yeah, it was a tough run. We hit him in the backfield. The biggest thing is we're not gang tackling, and that quarterback is a lot stronger than what we realize. He's a very strong, quick player.
And stopping the run has been a weakness, you could say, for Westminster all year. They've been outstanding against the pass, but stopping the run, as I mentioned, is something that they've really struggled with so far. So here's Jackson on the carry. Tristan Jackson, the junior. He's had a number of carries tonight and picking up good yardage on them.
And Ben, they've really been running those shifts to the triple option with the fullback out of the I formation. You don't really see that a lot. You see it more out of the motion with the wing backs. But they're doing it out of the I formation where they'll read to the fullback in one of the A gaps, and then they'll run the pitch outside with Sheriffs and their running back. So Sheriffs has been strong for them all night. He had that 125-yard run down here on the opposite side of the field. That's really he's been most of their offense tonight running the ball.
And what they're doing, too, also on the formation, they're starting in a wishbone formation and switching into the I formation. So timeout for Jefferson comes with 10:55 left in the second quarter.
They have one left,
so they got one timeout. They've already burned two. So we'll see how the head coach handles that.
T. McFerrin, their head coach.
He's a very experienced coach.
Was he here in your days, Chuck?
He was here before me.
Oh, wow.
He was like, he's been coaching since the late 60s.
Wow. 68, I believe.
Yeah. I think he's coached about 5 or 6 different teams to well into the playoffs. He's very experienced. What he's doing right now is he's playing with our defense.
Did you ever play against one of his teams?
No, never did. Never did. He was in when I was playing, I think he was in single A for a while.
Oh,
then he was in like quad A for a
while. If Jefferson won tonight, they'd be the 7th school that McFerrin has taken to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, he's got a very good reputation. The thing here for our defense is we may be overshifting because he's using that against us. So hopefully we'll be able to play our responsibility and get to him.
Justin Giza almost had him there.
Good job.
Brought down finally.
Sheriffs was able to just barely get back to the line there. And it actually looked like he may have been stopped for a loss of 1 or 2. So good job by the Westminster defense. That'll bring up 3rd and 9.
And they only went out with one receiver on that fade route. Luckily, it was covered by Jake Johnson, who I don't know if y'all mentioned he has that broken wrist. So can't play offense tonight, which is a big killer for the Cats. He's one of our best receivers. And Sheriffs is looking at that one receiver, and if he's not open, he's running.
Here's Sheriffs in the gun. He'll drop back. He looks for a receiver. He has him, and it looks like a touchdown. That's caught by number 7, Dalton Hill, the sophomore, thrown from Bryant Sheriffs. So that'll make the score 13-7 in favor of Jefferson. And he just kind of ran a little slant route there towards the middle of the end zone.
Yeah, that was a nice route. He threw it on layers. Our linebacker almost got his hand on it. It was just a matter of inches, and quarterback put it where it needed to be, and the guy brought it in. It was a good catch.
Yeah, I thought Hayes Meyer was going to be able to touch that one.
I did too.
Tip it away.
I mean, literally, it was a matter of inches. It's just, I mean, if he had to throw it again, he probably wouldn't. So
there's been a lot of penalties on the Cats for offsides. Are we lining up in the neutral zone, or are we jumping?
We're doing a little bit of both. We are really, I mean, we might be a half a millimeter from the neutral zone when I'm watching us.
That's a little ticky-tacky.
Yeah, and what they're doing is they're making calls at the line, which is experience, and our guys are jumping on sound, and it's hurt us.
Here's Schledow on to attempt the extra point, and it's very good, almost Harrison Butker-like.
Yeah, it looks like a Harrison kick, doesn't it?
On that extra point.
We saw him warming up earlier, kicking from the 30 into the end zone.
Yeah, it looks like by far the best kicker Westminster's faced all year.
Then that means, like the kickoff that he had, he's got a bunch of different kicks that he likes to do, which means it'll be interesting. It means he's got all kind of little squabs and
well, that's the same with
Jefferson almost recovered that first kickoff for them before Cameron Seward dove on it.
Right now, the Cats just have to be more assertive. I mean, if you look at it, that whole touchdown is based on one thing. We didn't get the fumble punt. I mean, it's right there. We didn't get the fumble punt. And so part of that is in playoffs, when you have a chance to flip the field or to do things like that, you absolutely have to take over. And, you know, our challenge was we had the guy went for the fumble, the second guy went for the fumble. No, the second guy takes the guy out on the other team. You don't both go for the fumble.
Right.
And so that's just, you know, we just have to get more patient in that regard.
So this kick is through the end zone, so Schlottau showing us what he can do. Let's see if I'm pronouncing that right. Looks like Schlottau from here. So we'll keep calling him that for tonight until we get corrected.
And Chuck,
that's correct.
Chuck, going back to that muff punt that we didn't get, I was actually on camera on that end zone when that play happened, and our player that went after the first player that went after the fumble just reached for it with his hand instead of diving on it.
You're supposed to dive on it and curl up, turn your back around,
and
like that. You can't.
I know he was on the ground after hitting their return man.
Yep.
But you still got
to
have the presence to get up and jump on it.
Absolutely. Get two hands on it, do whatever you can. I mean, it's when the pileup happens, that's just like a rugby scrum. I mean, anything. The refs won't. A lot of them won't, because when it happened, the ref that was close just froze. So then he's got to wait till he gets in the pileup.
And there's a lot of stuff that can happen under the pile.
Anything can happen in there.
That's why a lot of college coaches are hesitant about releasing injury reports, because you can just kind of knot someone in the leg and
that's right.
make it hurt a little bit more.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Exactly right.
That was Nigel Walker on that first down carry for Westminster. He got 4 yards. So here's Jake Forty in the gun with Walker to his right. Forty's going to drop back. He's got Cameron Seward, and Seward jumps forward for a few yards up to the 29-yard line. That'll bring up third down.
Cameron had missed that tackle. He might have been running for a long time.
I think he'd still be going. Yeah, they got out there. They made a shoestring tackle. As the game goes on, it'll be a little harder for them to get out there. So I think that play will be good for us.
Cameron, one of the faster guys in the school of Westminster.
Definitely, by far. Him and Nigel. Both Nigels.
Right.
Edmonds and Walker.
So Chris Otley is lined up on the right side of 40. You got, looks like
Hayes Meyer, I believe.
Ross Johnston out there. Hayes Meyer, you're right. No, that's Nelson Douglas, is number 16. And Cameron's going to power forward on that one. That's good for a first down.
That's all you want.
Moving the chains for Westminster, that's all you got to do. You got 8 minutes and 41 seconds left in the second quarter. Use each one of those seconds to your advantage. See if you can tie this game up.
Ben, one thing I like that the Cats are doing is subbing a lot. Got to keep the legs fresh. Got to keep the bodies fresh. Because this
help us too.
We know how good this Jefferson team is, and if we can keep subbing in, keep getting the results out of the different personnel,
absolutely,
we can wear down this Jefferson team.
Here's Jake Forty in the run up the middle. He's stopped behind the line. Looks like a loss of 3 or 4 there on that play. We'll bring up second down.
I think what's happening right now is we still haven't quite found our rhythm, and by that I mean sometimes it's kind of easy to tell up here when we're going to run it, when the quarterback's going to keep it, when he has to hold, he has to be comfortable making a read, because for example in that instance they stayed in the middle, and so you know it's okay to go ahead and give that handoff, because if not they're just playing on tendencies and just taking a chance.
And 40 is hit immediately. He breaks the tackle. What a play, and Hayes Meyer couldn't quite come up with it. Jake Forty showing some elusiveness. That Jefferson defender came right up through the middle untouched and got straight to Jake Forty, but Forty just bounced off of him and found Hayes Meyer. Looked like he was half trying to throw it away and half trying to make the completion to Hayes.
Great presence of mind. Guy got out there. I mean, it was a catchable ball, so it would have had an extra tremendous effort to make it, but he kept the play alive. What I think may start happening is we may do a little bit more, maybe a little audibling, or just kind of recognizing that what they're trying to do is blitz up the middle. And if we can just pop something outside or have a read play where we could go up the middle or keep it and go outside, I think we'll have a big, big game.
Maybe run a little corner.
Yeah.
Corner route down the middle. Or we can run a post corner.
Post corner would work.
Little pump and go.
Would work.
And another penalty against the Cats. So that'll bring them back another 5 yards. That was a delay of game. And now we got Wiley Ballard coming up to join some of our other WCA tiers up in front of us. Wiley, of course, an alum, He graduated last year. He was
Mr. WCAT.
He really was the Mr. WCAT around Westminster, and a great voice we had. And 40 fumbles that snap. He's going to try to avoid the defender, and he'll throw it in the direction of Hayesmeyer, but nowhere near him, just trying to get that ball away. Wiley looking back here. Good to have him on hand with us tonight.
And that snap was on the ground right below Jake's legs by Trip Riddle. Jake had no shot to convert that 3rd and 17.
Yeah, we've had trouble with that kind of all year, on and off with those snaps, and we've seen Riddle get kind of frustrated out there, and you know that eats a senior up, a guy like Riddle who works so hard as a center. So here's Harrison Butker back to punt for the 2nd time tonight.
Chuck, you mentioned earlier about the Cats getting into a rhythm on offense.
Yes.
When we've scored 15 or more points in we've scored 15 or more points in 6 games, and 5 of those we've won.
Exactly.
And the Cats actually outscoring their opponents this year, as that was a great tackle by number 24. Let's see who that was. That was
Jackson Egan.
Jackson Egan.
Excellent job.
Great job by him on punt team. Westminster's actually outscored their opponents this year. I think they've outscored them by 11 points total on the season. Unfortunately, their record hasn't quite showed it. So they've either lost a close game or won in a big one.
That's right, exactly. I think that's where, for us, it's great that's why I said the punt was so important, because that could have been an opportunity to score at least 3 or maybe 7. So all of a sudden we've got points that came from a short field, and then our offense gets a chance to get more settled, get into some kind of a rhythm. And that makes their defense begin to guess. Right now, their defense is guessing on 1st down, trying to stop us, and we're kind of running right into the teeth of the defense.
Yeah, 197 to 188, the point total on the season. 197 for Westminster, 188 for the opponents. And so we'll see what the call is here. It was a delay game. You're right, Chuck. So that'll bring them back 5 yards, put them at the 25-yard line. 1st and 15 to go for Jefferson.
Well, we've had a couple of ticky-tack penalties, so time for them to get one there.
Balance it out.
We've actually had a couple places where we've had play clocks in Thompson.
Right, GAC.
Yeah, GAC had them.
Ooh, someone might have jumped off signs.
That's another one. Those shifts are difficult. We've played against those before.
It looks like a false start.
So 1st and 20.
We'll take it.
Just keep moving them back.
Back-to-back penalties for Jefferson. Brings them back 10 yards, 5 yards each. 1st and 20 on the 10-yard line. Good opportunity for Westminster to take advantage of right here in the 2nd quarter.
That reminds me of that Georgia game, 4th and 57 against Tennessee.
Can you imagine? Now, this is where we have to play our responsibility. We have a chance to get a safety.
Go Sam.
A really quick play it.
Oh, Jake Johnson was right there, and the flag is thrown.
That wasn't his call.
We'll see what the call is.
The ref, the line judge need to talk about that.
The refs are consulting each other.
That's the back judge.
He's calling. Are they going to call that pass? Yep, they're calling it pass interference.
Wow.
Jake just tried to jump that route.
Yeah.
Actually, if you looked at the quarterback, Sam Allen was right on his chest.
Yeah.
He was coming through that line right before Sheriffs was able to release it.
So a tough break there for Westminster.
Yep.
Unfortunate that that penalty was called against us. It looked like good coverage from up here where we're standing.
Yep. I think what happens there, ideally what would happen, you see the back judge, he's how far back he is. He was 25 yards away. Usually what happens is even if he throws it, he'll talk to the guy at the line of scrimmage who's closer to it.
Right.
And the umpire who can look through, and then they'll decide. But in that instance, they didn't do it. So we have to live with it.
And some of the Westminster fans are yelling the clock's not running. It is now. It was stopped at 7:13, and that was looked like Sammy Williams, number 2, coming up the middle, little off to the right side there. That's good for a gain of probably 1 or 2 there.
Fans definitely getting into it. We've had a pretty good crowd show up here for a playoff game here in Jefferson.
Crowd. I mean, it's about half full. The visitor stand. That's tough for an away game too. Get your hands up, guys.
And Sheriffs is going to run. He's got tons of room to run. Let's see if Nigel Walker can make the play. He can't. And Sheriffs is going to keep running. Jake Johnson is going to chase him down. What a play. Jake Johnson bringing down Bryant Sheriffs at the 5-yard line. Jake Johnson never gave up on that play, hustled all the way down the field to get Sheriffs, and that'll stop him there. 1st and goal for Jefferson, but it could have been worse. Could have been a touchdown, and the great play of Jake Johnson stopped Jefferson from scoring on that play.
Well, that's a great lesson of never stop pursuing. I mean, there was no whistle blown. I mean, that's what you saw with the Texans and the Lions. I mean, there was no whistle blown. Unfortunately, Nigel kind of got schooled a little bit. The guy's been run out of bounds all night. You don't want a personal foul.
And that play kind of reminds me of something Chris Owens did last year for the Falcons. I can remember 2 occasions where on a kickoff or a punt, he chased down the returner and got him inside the 5. Both times, the opponent was not able to score.
That's right.
They had to settle for a field goal.
Great effort. I mean, that's what their quarterback's doing. He's playing on the ref side because he's gone out of bounds every single time when he runs toward the sideline. This time he stayed in bounds. So
that's always a tough decision as a defensive back.
Absolutely.
You got to make. And Sammy Williams is in. That's going to make the score 20-7 Jefferson, and 21-7 assuming Schludow can make the extra point. So despite the great effort from Jake Johnson chasing down Sheriffs all the way at the 4-yard line, it's to no avail as Jefferson cashes that one in.
Yeah, the tough thing there is you don't expect that to happen, and everyone kind of gets a little bit discombobulated. In a perfect world, probably would have been good for us to call a timeout, give our defense a chance to catch their breath, get settled in, say, guys, they still got to, just things like that. And, in the throw and in the noise and all that kind of stuff, you kind of end up playing catch-up because they had the momentum. So,
well, that again is Sheriff's first read and then run.
Right.
He was.
They put in his hands.
Yeah, he was rolling outside the pocket, and that's really what you look for in a senior in the playoffs. Right. And that's what the Cats were able to do last week. 5 of our 6 scores, 28 of our 34 points were by seniors.
Right.
Two on pick sixes.
Yeah, by Joe Bridges and Harrison Woodward. Our defense scored as many touchdowns as our offense did last week.
Great plays. Westminster may need a few great plays. 2 pick sixes could tie the game. We'll see if we get that.
I just don't know if they're going to be throwing the ball that much. This is really the trouble with a dual threat quarterback where he can put it over the top of you if you're peeking in, and if you're dropping back in coverage, he'll just run right up the middle. And he's a large man.
He's a big guy.
And fast.
He's a big guy. And basically, I just got a note from our statistician. We're looking at about 181 yards on 22 carries.
Wow.
So
22 carries already.
So they're basically averaging a first down every time. And, I mean, the biggest thing for us, though, is when we look at it, that drive, okay. Really I could see it being 14-7 right now because the punt that we didn't get, the offsides we kind of gotten. The biggest thing for us is to make sure that we have a drive where we score right now.
Yeah, right.
Just keep it. Don't. And I would love for us to start to use Bridges more because it's like he's been silent, and they can't stop him. They don't have anybody who can match up.
He's been our leading receiver all year long.
Yeah. Their linebackers are pretty small.
No one could. They don't have anyone to match up on him.
It looks like Westminster sticking to the run. That's Nigel Walker getting 5 or 6 yards on that carry. 2nd and 5 coming up for Westminster.
Well, Nigel did a good job finding the hole on that one. It was pretty clogged up. For Jefferson, their defensive line is pretty big. Not large like we faced against Pepperell last week, but fairly large. And then their linebackers are small, and then their secondary is small. So we really need to go at that mid-range like you were talking about, Chuck. Just attack them with Joe Bridges.
Absolutely.
Just try to get the ball in the middle.
It'll either be pass interference or he'll
there he is.
That'll be Hayes Meyer. That looks good for a first down.
There we go.
He's out across the 35-yard line. So first down and 10 for Westminster. Good to see those chains moving once again. And hopefully Westminster will be able to march right down the field here and punch this one in for a touchdown.
And had Jake not found Hayes on that one, Joe Bridges was coming across the middle on a drag play.
Yes,
it's there.
It's there.
We just have to find it.
And because he's such a big target, they'll have difficulty defending it too. So.
And he's big and fast.
Absolutely.
So it's not like he's one of those slow, large guys.
That's Cameron Seward rumbling up the middle for 4 or 5 yards there.
One of the things
Just
I
powering
noticed,
through.
it looks like we're trying to have a quick hitter And with that defense, I'm almost, because they're giving up a little bit to us on size, they're going to try to be quick and aggressive and blitz. So sometimes if we have something that has a little bit more of a read, I think they'll overcommit, and we could gash them for at least a 20 or 30-yard run. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next couple of plays.
Here's McLean Bradley running up the right side.
Go McLean.
He's got some room. He's going to take, oh, number 4 slid in there. Let's see who that was for Jefferson. That looked like Trad Porter. He stopped McLean Bradley. Had he not been there, McLean could have taken that to the house.
Right.
One of the faster guys on the team. And I really love the way McLean runs. He's powerful and fast. He's really a strong, tough runner.
I was going to say, before the snap, we had Sloan Schuler in there at the fullback position, had no real running back with Jake, so I thought it was going to be a pass play until we motioned McLean around. And that's one of those that we ran a lot with Danny Caton last year at quarterback.
We sure did.
The end arounds with the back facing the quarterback so you can't see where the ball is going.
Here's 40 back to throw. He's going to find McLean, and he dropped it. Wow. McLean was open. That would have been good for a first down had he caught it. Unfortunately, it just slipped right through his hands. Good pass by 40, put it right on the money. And I think McLean's got to make that play, Chuck.
Yeah, what happens there is the ball is coming, the field is big, the lights are shining, and you're just waiting on it to get there. And what you want to do is be extra safe so you catch it against your body. And that's the cardinal rule. You never do that. You catch it in your hands because it hit his shoulder pads, bounced off, and
that's something Tony Gonzalez does well, is catching it. Every pass catches it out and then brings it back into his chest. There's a flag here on this play.
They're going to call that a hold.
Yep, hold. You're right, Keller. The run by McLean Bradley will be negated.
I believe that was on either Trip Riddle, our center, or Austin Chapman, the guard. I'm not sure which one. I believe Austin was pulling around trying to clear a hole, and a guy just got past him, and there's nothing you can do there other than grab the shirt.
Yep, that's all you can do. I think for us right now, though, it's okay to be, 2nd and 20. It sounds crazy, but basically what you do right now is in the next 2 plays, you want to get half the distance back.
Yep.
Okay, and so then you decide, do you want to punt or what have you. Now, we get a little extra going on. We get to the 40, we're in field goal range.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's a little different for us compared to some other teams. So
2nd and 23 for the Wildcats.
Cameron motioned out of the backfield.
Here's 40 back to throw. He's got a linebacker coming at him. Good job of evading him. He's going to throw it off to Cameron.
Look at 20.
He'll get a few yards. It looks
Hayes
like Hayes Meyer was wide. Or no, Chris Otley, number 22. Wide open downfield.
Wow. Now, part of that is for the quarterback, when they rush you out of your pocket, the defense is trying to do what they call make it a half-field game. So what usually happens is the quarterback, until he gets more experience, he simply looks from the hash mark to the sideline down, and they're going to take a chance that guy come across the back will be open. But if he gets set, he'll see it next time.
40 just being a junior. He's been on the team since he was a freshman, but never really experienced any real significant playing time. This is his first year with that. He's going to take a shot downfield and overshoots Hayes Meyer. So
Joe Bridges was open too, as well as
Joe
Cole
Bridges,
Haverty.
we mentioned a few times, looked like Conrad Cornell on the other side as well. So Harrison Butker on to punt. And Chuck, you mentioned we're about at the 40. If we could, or a little past the 40, if we could get to the Jefferson 40, we're about in field goal range. But it seems like all year long, whenever we've needed any kind of scoring, we just aren't able to get into the red zone or into field goal range for Harrison.
Yeah, I think what happens is we sort of give, again, when I talk about our rhythm, okay, we get in this particular situation, it's 2nd and 23 or whatever, and it's straight passing. It's pass, pass, pass. No play action. And so what that allows the defense to do is they don't have to commit to anything, and then they're able to rush back.
And a great play by Conrad Cornell, pushes that one back inside the 5-yard line. And it looked like Reed Love downing that ball at the 3-yard line. Great punt, great play by the special teams coverage unit.
And Jackson Egan was down there as well. He was the one that made the tackle on the reverse earlier.
That's right.
Our special teams guy, special teams Weems.
That's right.
Great job.
Great coverage.
Third punt by Butker, and he pinned him really well this time. So hopefully Westminster will take advantage of that great punt. Stop.
Absolutely. This is a great chance to go for like a a safety because you know the quarterback is either going to throw or run.
Yeah, he's going to run it.
I mean, so
I'm pretty sure he's going to run it.
I think at this point our linebackers should be pretty keyed on him.
They're just going to give it off to the fullback. That's Jackson, and we bring him down. He's got nowhere to go on that play.
Chuck, what can you look for with like a play action here? Would you, if you're Coach Romberg, would you bring a lot of guys on this, or would you drop back?
I would, because I'm not that concerned about the receivers. I would, excuse me, I would simply I would do what you might call a backside blitz. I bring like a corner, and then I'd have my safety rotate over and take because they're not going to throw it in the flat.
Yeah.
If you throw it in the flat down here, you deserve to get intercepted. And so I would basically take that corner who generally would cover the flat, have him come in on a late blitz, and I think he probably would get a big hit, might even cause a fumble. So right now that's, because right now what this type of possession is what you call it's a defensive possession. What they want to do is to make sure they have the right to kick on 4th down, and if we get the ball, it's across the 50. They don't want to do anything to create a short field or anything like that. And so it's going to be more of a defensive possession for us. So, I mean, for them. So biggest thing right now is that our defense plays a responsibility and make the tackle. Avoid people getting extra yardage. Play the responsibility and make the tackle when you have a chance to make the tackle. Keep your eyes open and make the tackle.
And you mentioned bringing the corner. That usually happens with the ball on a hash, where you bring the short side corner so he has less space to travel.
And that
going to be another
looks like a penalty. That's going to be half the distance to the goal line against Jefferson. So they'll be on the 2-yard line. They could have a tough time getting out of this one.
It's even better.
Hopefully Westminster takes advantage of the penalties and the great punt. Something we really need to capitalize on right here with 2:23 in the second quarter. So it's going to be Sheriffs under center. He's got Williams and Jackson out behind him in the wishbone. They're going to switch back to that I formation. 2nd and 9 for Jefferson. And a handoff to Jackson. He pushes through for 5-6 yards. Good tough running by Jackson. And so that'll bring up 3rd down for Jefferson. Really important that Westminster gets a stop here.
Absolutely.
Makes a good stand inside the Jefferson red zone.
This is where the coach has to decide if he's going to call a timeout or not. We got 2 minutes. It's 3rd down. I think he's going to let it run.
If they run it here, I say you burn it before 4th.
Yeah, I would.
And Sheriffs is going to run it. It looks like he will have enough for the 1st down. And you may have heard Jay Paul Meyer over there making the Dante Robinson reference. So despite the good tackle by Westminster, it isn't enough to stop Bryant Chapel, or excuse me, not Chapel, that's Rafe Chapel.
That's Rafe Chapel, GSE, yeah.
Bryant Sheriffs on that run. I've been mixing those guys up all night. It's amazing. That's the first time I've said Chapel. So here's the pitch out to Williams. He's going to run it to the right side. Fast guy out there, and he's brought down.
There's a very good resemblance between Chapel and Sheriffs. They're both large quarterbacks that like to run the ball, not very pass oriented. Although they can pass when needed to, but their mindset is why pass if I don't need to?
Right.
Just use my legs.
Yeah, they're very comfortable with, just like you called out earlier, they pretty much are using 1 or 2 route reads, and if it's not there, just run.
Right.
So
He wears that 15 like Tebow.
I think he picked that for a reason. I think he's definitely got that kind of style.
I hate to bring it up, but
some tough running. That's good enough for a 1st down for Jefferson. Nice run by Jackson. He twisted around and powered forward there for a 1st down. 36 seconds left. The key here for Westminster, don't necessarily need to stop them on 1st down plays. Just don't give up the big play. Don't let them score.
That's right.
And swing
They're
the
going to
momentum.
take a knee here.
Or keep the momentum on their own side before the half. So, yeah, you're right. They will take a knee.
Yeah, they want to make sure that we don't get a turnover. And so that's a smart play on their part. Taking what they have, take it into the house.
So that'll conclude our 1st half of play. At the end of 1 half, it's 21-7 Jefferson. Both teams will head to the locker room And the clock just now strikes 0. So a bit of a rough half for Westminster. They had a great opening drive off the Hazemeyer fumble recovery.
Yep.
And then couldn't quite do much else after that. And Jefferson just never stopped after that first possession. They fumbled on their first possession, and after that, 3 straight touchdown drives. Westminster will get the ball to start the second half, so hopefully we'll be able to swing the momentum back to our side. But like I said, 21-7 going into the half, and I think we're going to go to a video.
We're going to send it to the Elizabeth Allen Rhodes Scholarship interview. Very proud Wildcat.
Hi, this is Matthew Shackelford, class of 2011, and I'm honored to be sitting here today with Elizabeth Allen, class of 2008, who was just recently named to be a Rhodes Scholar for 2013. Elizabeth, thank you very much for taking the time to talk with me today, and congratulations on your honor.
Thank you. Thanks for having me today.
How does it feel to be named one of the 32 Rhodes Scholars in the United States?
I'm still in a little bit of shock. I think it's kind of slowly sinking in. It's a really great honor. It was a really humbling experience to go through. I was sitting, in a room with 11 people who were all fantastic when I found out that I was one of the 2 people to receive the scholarship. So yeah, right now I'm just really looking forward to studying at Oxford.
That's great. Well, Cecile Rhodes' founding vision with the scholarship was to find students and leaders who will fight the world's battles, to promote international understanding and peace. How have your experiences led to your strong interest in these areas?
So I think that I've always had an interest in community service and in tackling big issues. I really like solving problems, especially if, solving those problems has the potential to positively impact people's lives. I think that investing my time in issues like that is something that I've always been drawn to. The importance of that is self-evident. But I think that, by becoming involved in international issues at a young age, from watching the nightly news with my parents to participating in the Westminster debate team to my international affairs major, gave me a really global outlook.
Excellent. Interestingly, another Westminster class of 2008 graduate, Ishan Nath, was a 2012 Rhodes Scholar. That's an amazing achievement for both of you, obviously. But it's also a testament to the education that we receive here at Westminster. How did your years at Westminster shape not only your academics, but also your personal outlook and goals?
Westminster was a great community for me to be a part of. One thing about Ishan, he was in my class of 2008 also, so he actually called me when he found out at 2:30 a.m. Oxford time, which I think is just a testament to what a great community Westminster is, that we stayed that close over the years and that he was that excited about me coming to Oxford to study with him for a year. Me and him have stayed pretty close after I graduated. But, Westminster did so much for me growing up. I was here since 6th grade, having, some of the best teachers that a high school student could possibly have was amazing. And also just such a strong community of really interesting people. I'm going to meet up with some of my Westminster friends tonight to, hang out, and we always have great conversations. And I think that having that network and that community of scholars, that's the kind of thing that, the Rhodes Scholars are supposed to be, is kind of a community of scholars, and I've had that ever since my time in middle school.
Excellent. As a Rhodes Scholar, you'll study at Oxford beginning in September 2013. What are your plans for your time at Oxford, and what do you hope to accomplish in the future?
I'm planning on being in the Modern Middle Eastern Studies program, which is a 2-year master's program. And I hopefully one day want to work on Middle Eastern policy. I studied Arabic in college in addition to international affairs and international policy. So my dream job would be working in the State Department and designing U.S. policy towards the Middle East. But, at Oxford, I'm just looking forward to exploring that region of the world more closely. I've traveled to Morocco before, and so I've kind of gotten a taste of the region. But to the chance to really, investigate that region from an academic standpoint, I think will be really interesting. And Oxford has been studying the Islamic world for over 300 years. It's really cool.
Elizabeth, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today. And again, congratulations on your enormous achievement.
Thanks for having me.
This is Matthew Shackelford, Westminster class of 2011 for WCAT. Go Cats!
All right, and we are back. Jefferson High School, the Cats are down 21-7. The marching band has taken the field, and it is an alumni fest here at Jefferson, a Westminster alumni fest. We've got grads from years past all the way through to last year taking advantage of Thanksgiving break and here to see the Cats play in the second round of the state playoffs. Right now we have a treat, our very own Wiley Ballard. We just saw Matthew Shackelford do the interview with Elizabeth Allen, the Rhodes Scholar. Now we go to Wiley Ballard from last year, our play-by-play and our color guy, speaking with one of his fellow grads, Raymond Monastersky. So let's hear it, Wiley.
It's Wiley Ballard here on WCAT, 2012 football season here with Raymond Monastersky, class of 2012. Raymond, we got Cats on the wrong end of the scoreboard here. What are your thoughts about the first half of this game?
I mean, it was a tough first half for the Cats, down 21-7, but I think they can make some adjustments at halftime and get right back into this thing. They'll receive the ball out of the half, and so put some points on the board, and I think they should be good to go.
Absolutely. Now, Raymond, you are at the Washington Lee, currently the starting long snapper for the team. Can you talk about how's the transition been from a high school program like Westminster to the prestigious program of Washington Lee?
Well, I have to say Westminster really prepared me well for WNL, both academically and on the football team. And this year got the opportunity. I played in every game as a long snapper, and then took a couple reps at center on the offensive line. But Westminster really prepared me well, and I'm glad that I was able to come to Westminster, and it's really helped me pave the path for WNL.
And what's it been like tonight, seeing some of the underclassmen or your underclassmen, and now some of the seniors perhaps playing in some of their final games here? Perhaps tonight could be the last one. What are your memories from Dublin a year ago and your senior season in general?
Well, I have to say I didn't leave Dublin with maybe the best of memories, but it was the final game of my high school career and for the high school career of the rest of the seniors last year. But in the end, reflecting on our season after a bit of the rough start and then running, I think, 6 games, maybe 6 or 7 games in a row. It was a remarkable comeback for us, and for us to even be in that scenario where we're made to the second round of state playoffs was certainly something for us to be proud about.
Absolutely. Raymond, thank you so much for your time. I hope you finish up your first semester very strong, both on the football field and in the classroom. Raymond, great to see you. We'll have to hang on some more after we get off the air here. But this is WCAT. Thanks for watching second round coverage of the playoffs here in Georgia High School Sports Association football. I'm Wiley Ballard. Stay tuned.
All right. That's Wiley Ballard with Raymond Monastersky. Excellent little coverage right there. A treat for us to have them on the air during our halftime here at Jefferson High School. The Cats down 21-7. And as we've mentioned a few times, we do apologize that we weren't able to stream live. For those of you watching on demand, the Jefferson band marching up and down right now, and we were going to bring you some more interviews momentarily. And as we talk about alumni, one of Westminster's most recognized these days is Gordon Beckham, who was All-State in football and also a baseball phenom. Played at Georgia and is now with the White Sox. WCAT's Jack Schlafly caught up with him a couple weeks ago on campus. Let's hear that interview now.
Hi, I'm Jack Schlafly here with 2005 alumni Gordon Beckham. How are you doing today, Gordon?
Doing great. Excited to be here. Just finished the lift and, excited to be here doing this interview with y'all.
So today is the Battle of Buckhead game, Lovett and Westminster. You've experienced this yourself, being an all-state player junior and senior year. What is it like in this situation?
It's definitely a lot of fun. I mean, there's a lot of good players on both teams, and you go out there and you really want to represent your school well, and obviously there's a lot on the line. There's just a lot of people that really love this game. You know, people that don't even go to Westminster and Lovett games all year will go to this game because it means a lot to a lot of different families around this area. So definitely a lot of emotion. The team that usually can check that emotion and just play physical but play, the right way will usually win this game. I mean, you got to just keep your emotions in check because that's usually the way it goes.
After high school here at Westminster, you went on to play college baseball at Georgia. You won the 2006 College World Series and led the NCAA in home runs in 2008. What was it like playing at Georgia?
It was fun. I mean, we had a blast. We made it to the College World Series a couple times and enjoyed that, and definitely had good teams when we were there. But just experienced college at Georgia. It was just a great experience, and you get to go play baseball. It's a lot of work, but it definitely paid off for me. I mean, the more I worked, the better I got, and continued to get better and progress. And then I made it to the big leagues. So. But it all started at Westminster, and it ended at Georgia, and then it kept going, and obviously in Chicago.
And once you moved to Chicago, you got your first debut against the Athletics. What was it like stepping out onto that field?
It was cool. I mean, it was definitely a lot of fun. I mean, something you dream about. You don't ever think you're going to get that call up, and somebody telling you that you made it to the big leagues, and then you get up there and you experience it, and you see all the people in the stands, and you feel that rush. I mean, it's something that you won't ever be able to duplicate.
And I got to ask you one more question. Your walk-up song, Your Love, why that one?
I don't know. I had it when I started it when I was a freshman in college, and just kept it going. It seemed to work for me there, and I just kept it going. But it's always a good song, fan favorite. It's an old song, but people tend to like it, and they just kind of connect with it. A lot of people that grew up in the 80s know what I'm talking about.
Thanks, Gordon. I'm Jack Schlafly here with Gordon Beckham. Go Cats.
And welcome back, Jefferson High School. It is halftime. 21-7, the Cats down to the Dragons. A run by Cameron Seward started the Cats off with a 7-0 lead, and then the Dragons came back strong. 3 in a row for them. Behind that number 15, that quarterback, that runner, he gets it done. I'm Daniel Searle, joined by alum Wiley Ballard. Wiley just coming right back in, jumping in, interviewing Raymond, the natural broadcasting talent never goes away even when you go to college.
And there's the volume of the microphone, so perfect. That's always a good start. No, I don't know though, Daniel. I mean, I've had a couple experiences at Tech so far. I'm on the radio, 91.1, Wednesday 6 to 7. Really enjoying that. Doing the Georgia Tech Sports Show, trying to keep things positive over downtown Atlanta. We have some good weeks, we have some bad weeks on the football field, but I don't know, we got a big challenge tomorrow. But tonight, let's just make sure the Cats can try and mount a comeback here.
We hope so. Let's talk a little bit about your experience. So you say 91.1, the Ramblin' Wreck.
WREK Atlanta, absolutely.
All right. Tell us about that program and that show and how you got involved.
Oh, it's been a lot of fun. I remember my junior year of high school, heading into that, I got in touch with a Buford graduate who's a freshman at Tech named Nolan Alexander. He's currently doing some high school football for WDUN up in Gwinnett right now, so hopefully I'll head down that track. But he got a chance to call some baseball his freshman year at Tech. I got in touch with him, had baseball season tickets for a long time. Started talking to him, built a relationship with him the past 2 years. Finally got on campus at Georgia Tech and jumped right in the flow, hopped in right on WREK. I'm currently learning how to work a radio board with all the buttons.
About time. You're one of those talent guys. You love being with the mic, talking, telling the stories, but it's about time you learn the tech side.
I definitely could have used a bit more experience here at WCT. I might have copped out on that. I did help set up, though. I wasn't very good during the game in terms of doing technology stuff. But so I'm doing that. I'm also working at the Athletic Association with Georgia Tech Sports Information Department. I work in the press box for all the Georgia Tech football games. I work courtside for the basketball games. Hope to be involved in the baseball games as well. So I'm loving that, getting my full dose of sports on, going to a couple Falcons games when I can, and obviously watching a lot of WCAT.
You better be, right? And you're up here at Jefferson. You came to work with WCAT, but more so to hang out with all of your fellow alumni from last year. It's a packed house there. Neat to have Thanksgiving break, a game where everybody can come back to. Who's in the stands?
I've seen a lot of people. We've got guys from 2010, Malcolm Chester being one name. We have obviously a lot of kids in my class. Michael Russell, Sam Jowers playing football at UVA, Scott Peters playing at Harvard. It's a big showdown there. A lot of girls like Katherine Johnston, Margaret Burrows down there, Caroline Ellis, all those gals down there. And it's a great show. And obviously 2011 also well represented. Some football alumni, Watson Griffith down there, Duncan McCall, William Lingenfelter, former Westminster quarterback, down there in the stands trying to give 40 a couple pointers via the stands. But it's been a lot of fun to see those guys and kind of relive some old memories. And hopefully we're we're making a new one here in Jefferson.
And we keep looking over our shoulder here, checking the time. About 5:45 left here at halftime, and the second half will be started. We've got now our own honorable members of WCAT, Bill McGann, who spent his Thanksgiving break in Costa Rica, landed a few minutes ago and drove, we don't want to know how fast, all the way up here to Jefferson to get on the mic. And hopefully the tide will change for the Cats, too. So what do you expect, Wiley, in the second half from the Wildcats?
Here just to play a full 24 minutes as hard as possible. The seniors on this team, you've seen them year in, year out. We've lost in the second round a lot, and I think they're ready to buck this trend. And I think we have an opportunity to do some big things here. I think we'll hopefully get some momentum going. Hopefully 40 will be able to lead us up. McLean Bradley had a good half. Cameron Stewart, obviously, both those guys are very key factors to the team. So I'm hoping we can just find a way to get that ball moving, get the offense moving, which was something we didn't have a lot of in the second quarter.
Last week, Keller Austin talked to Christian Cornell during the game up in Lindale, Georgia, when we beat Pepperell 34-0, talking about the seniors, how these games in the playoffs, it's kind of surreal, where it could be your last game. You're not exactly sure of that feel. You expect the seniors here to really get it done in the second half?
Oh, no question about it. I mean, they know what's on the line here. There's no mystery. They've seen the guys come before them, and they've witnessed the second round loss 2 years in a row now. And if it's the first round, the second round, regular season, semifinals, it's never good. But, they've seen what the upper class have gone through, and they want to postpone that last game as far as they can. Hopefully it will occur in the Dome. But we got to put together a good second half here to even start thinking about the third round.
All right, Wiley, really appreciate you stopping by. Great to see you. Great to have you on the air.
Maybe great to be back.
Yeah, maybe we'll get you on the air here in the third or fourth quarter. But we're going to take a quick break right now, and we'll be back with second half action in just a moment.
I'm Parker Tuthill, and you're watching WCAT. Go Cats!
Down there, we'll certainly talk to you as the night progresses. Artrell, Bearcats are going to get the ball to start. What are your keys to victory today?
They have to start fast. Offensively, that's the strength of this football team. To get some points on the board early, it's going to be easier to come out and to win a game and to get, just to be comfortable. Defensively, I think they have to play team defense. Last year, the secondary got a lot of flack. But let's be honest, if there's not a lot of touchdowns stopped or there's not a lot of interceptions, it's a team defense. You need pressure and coverage.
Well, the Bearcats will have a chance to score early, and here's the freshman, Ralph David Abernathy, his first career kickoff return, and he's across the 30 to the 40, the 50, and pushed out of bounds across midfield for the Bearcats' true freshman, and the Cincinnati sideline goes crazy on the explosion.
Hi, I'm Scoot Diamond, and you're watching WCAT.
All right, we're back here from Jefferson High School. This is Bill McGann along with J. Paul Meyer and Jack Schlafly. And one heck of a first half. Jack, why don't we recap real quick what happened? I guess the first play from scrimmage is the Cats forced that fumble.
We did force that fumble on the first play. Hayes Meyer recovered it and took it back a few yards. And from there, Cameron Stewart just capitalized, and we got the early score. But from there, Jefferson scored 21 unanswered. Their offense has really been clicking, and Westminster will get the ball here first to start the second half.
And J. Paul, all's not lost here. We're down 21-7, minute to go here at the halftime clock, and see Cameron Stewart there warming up. Cats get the ball right away. We get a score on the board. We make it a one score game, and this is anybody's ball game.
Exactly. I think the offense has got to take over and get a score as fast as we can, and if we can get a defensive score or a special team score, I think the Cats have really got a good shot if they can pull off once again like they did last week with Harrison Woodwards and I believe there's one other.
Joe Bridges.
Joe Bridges on defense as well.
Who can forget?
2 ways.
All right, so clock shows 39 seconds here. Cats warming up to our right, doing their leg kicks. Jefferson over there to our left, and they're blue tops and white pants and red, white, and blue. Beautiful color scheme here out in North Georgia. And it's a beautiful night here. We started off as a very warm night, Jack, but now getting down into the 50s. And you, of course, planned ahead wearing the shorts.
I did. I can't help myself.
Can't help yourself.
He'll always get you for that one.
J. Paul, please explain one last time why kids insist on wearing shorts on cold nights.
I think they just want to prove their toughness. You know, Jack Schlafly, the little guy's got a lot to prove. No, I'm just kidding. He's been with us forever. He does a great job. He's just a very valuable member. Sisters out there cheerleading, so really supporting this Wildcat football squad. But
Schlafly family all over the Westminster scene, but still wearing the shorts on a cold night. All right, so the Cats are going to get the ball, and a beautiful facility here, grass field, surrounded by a track. Kind of a traditional setup here, a little bit away from the high school, off about 3 or 4 miles away from the high school. Kind of a facility, sort of a multi-use facility, a couple practice fields here. A little bit of a different setup, but I like it here, J. Paul.
Absolutely. I mean, it must be a little bit of a hassle for that kind of bussing between the school and the practice fields. But I'm sure they figure it out. I mean, they clearly have. They're in the second round of the playoffs.
Yep.
But I think that's something that's a factor in their practice schedule.
And what a tradition here of wrestling. This is a school, the Jefferson Dragons, that seems to win the state championship every year, Jack, and it's gone back a number of years.
They've got the board up there, and you can just see a long list of them. I mean, it goes way back.
How many years in a row have they won the state championship?
It's 11, if I'm counting right over here. But
and preseason ranked number 1 again in wrestling. They're just wrestling. Just great
wrestling up a storm.
Yeah, no, and they're just great coaching, great tradition, and you're a great athlete here. You're looking forward to getting into the wrestling program early. They start them early. They get them wrestling, working on those holds apparently.
Absolutely.
Get them get the big guys not eating apparently at a young age.
Yeah,
you would know it by the football team, but
seriously,
we played them a couple years ago in basketball. Coach Searle, remember this coming up here in the second round state playoff game on the road. Cats getting into that Sweet 16, but very tough to continuously win on the road, particularly in basketball. And they got us in a close game up here, and that was the year that it was John Egan's last game and Dylan Jaffe's last game. And but they're a great group of athletes, and they roll right into wrestling, win another state championship. So. All right, so here we go. About to get started. Cats got to get going here, and let's go some down. This is our seniors could be their last game if they don't win. Who are we going to look for making some big plays here in the second half, J. Paul?
Out of the seniors, Joe Bridges has been a huge factor all year. He made a defensive play last week, and he made and he's making a lot of contributions on offense as well. We've got a lot of returning graduated seniors from the alumni class of 2012. Good to see them back, but these seniors have really been, incomparable. We've got, Harrison Butker.
Connor Bedden, too. Connor Bedden made that big cut last week, Jack, and I expect him to do some big things. But, we got to have some big plays out of these playmakers in the second half.
It's definitely key. It really sparks their offense. And a guy that I like to have a great second half is Nigel Walker. I think the blocking's definitely just going to get into it, and from there, Nigel's going to get the holes, and he's just going to keep going.
All right, Nigel Edmonds looks like he's going to go back deep along with Cameron Seward. There's not going to be we're going to put all of our athletes on the field here, all of our playmakers. They're going to play all sorts of AC/DC kind of, the bells ringing. You got Back in Black playing a couple of minutes ago. So, they love AC/DC up in Jefferson, Georgia. Who knew?
That old rock, that 90s rock, a lot of good taste in music, at least I think so.
Maybe even before the 90s, maybe perhaps even the 70s or 80s.
A lot of it before that maybe, but we've got a couple of returners back here. It looks like that's going to be, I believe, Cameron Seward. He's a little tilted away from us. Can't quite see that number. Could be Nigel Walker.
Yep. All right, so here we got Nigel Walker deep. We got Cameron and Nigel Edmonds deep. And then on the secondary line, you got Quentin Bennett, Harrison Woodward over there. And they're going to be kicking off almost from the middle of the field, a little bit toward the left side. And here we go. Orange shoes meets ball, and they're going to squib it up there. And they kick it onside, and they get the ball. Horrible start for the Cats. The Cats are saying it didn't go far enough, and they're saying that it's Jefferson dragging ball. I didn't quite see that play. I mean, they just squibbed it right there, J. Paul.
I mean, my eyes were looking up in the sky, and then all of a sudden I mean, it wasn't there. So it was. We looked for the ball. It was on the ground, and that kicker got right on it. It went 10 yards. Nobody. I mean, everyone was running back.
And they're saying it's Westminster Wildcat ball. They touched the ball early. That's what I saw, Jack Schlafly. And finally, the white hat. That's Jerry Romberg at his best, calling the attention. He gets so much respect, and Romberg gets a call right there, Jack, when we needed it.
And they definitely caught us off guard, and the kicker made a great play, but as you said, it was just a little too early, and we definitely caught a break that time. Hopefully we can capitalize.
And that's going to be phenomenal field position for the Cats, already across the 50 into Jefferson territory. Jake Forty's going to come out, take the field. Let's see what the Cats can do. Jerry Romberg, 150 wins for a reason, like you mentioned, and he's just a great coach seeing that call.
All right, we've got Jake Forty in under center. We've got man in motion, one split right. They're going to pitch over there to Cameron Seward, trying to go on the left side. Cameron trying to get that corner, spinning. Thrust forward, gets about 7 on the play, inside the 40 to the 38, flag down at the 46-yard line. Cameron did that little reverse pivot deal there. Got down to the 38, but probably going to come back here, J. Paul.
Right, and he made a couple extra yards off that little spin, but it looks like it might be a hold on the Cats.
And Jake's already walking back. He's looking over there to Zach Darlin, who's doing all those sorts of third base coach signals.
Right.
One day I'd love to learn all those. They start with they got the guy who signals them in. They do the formation and the players and all sorts of things like that. Jack, any interest in learning that stuff?
Not for me, I don't
Not
think.
for Jack Schlafly. You heard it here first, J. Paul.
Absolutely. I mean, they're not too bad. Sometimes you've got they'll act them out pretty well. I remember George Berry and Chuck Breitup did a phenomenal job acting out the eagle formation with the flapping wings and such, but a lot of different signals, and they can look pretty funny.
Well, another penalty on the play. Now, they gave us the ball, and then since that time, they've thrown a couple flags, and they've called a couple of flags on us. So they gave us the ball, and they've called 2 flags on us. I'm not connecting the dots, but they gave us the ball, and they called 2. And that one, we didn't even move. Obviously, there was some sort of illegal substitution or something.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be 1st and 25, so
right,
quite the distance to go.
Well, we got the ball, and here we go. So it's with 11:27 and the clock ticking for some apparent reason. Ball sitting on the 39. Got to get to there about 35 for a first. This time we're going to throw it. A little screen over the middle. Going to get it to Seward. He's going to run on the left side. He's got some running room, and he goes down about the 48. Cameron Seward getting a bunch of them back. It's going to bring up a 2nd down at about 16. Nice throw there, Jack. And nice catch by Cameron Seward.
And and a lot of times when we put a guy in motion, the defense really tends to put a spotlight onto him. And, that time we just slipped Cameron Seward out the backside, it seemed like. And it was just wide open with a lot of blockers pulling on that play.
Right, that misdirection was a big part of that. And, I mean, a lot of good blockers out to the far left and really just well done by the offense.
All right, we've got it one back behind Jake Forty. Under center, going to look to throw it. He's got Cameron on the swing again. Cameron going down that left side. He's going to get out of bounds. They're saying the clock is stopped. Back to the original line of scrimmage. Going to bring up a 3rd and 10. It's as if we got no yards in those first 2 plays. Back to the original line, but actually backed up 15, gained that 15 there, J. Paul, and now we're looking at a 3rd and let's call it a long 10.
And 2 plays and 15 yards in 2 plays isn't too bad. So let's see what we can pull off here. This is a really big drive for the Cats. If we can, get on the field, get a big drive down the field, maybe get a field goal or a touchdown. We really got to convert this 3rd down.
You can see Jake there on your screen with the end zone cam. Standing next to him is, in motion goes Kyle Murphy. Jake's going to do a little pitch out to the left. It's Connor Bennett. Put his head down, getting real close. Going to be shy by 2, I think. But down to the 37, certainly 4 down territory, I would think. It would be a 54-yarder. I think the wind, if any way, is helping. But we're going to go for this, Jack Schlafly. I like the call here.
We're definitely being aggressive, and that's what we need to do here. Down 2 scores, we definitely got to make sure that we keep this drive going. It's really an important step to getting back in this game.
4th and 2, got to get across that 35. We're just about to that 35 to get the first. Jake is in under center, moves his left receiver up, moves the guy around. A lot of linemen in there. Going to hand it off to Cameron, put his head down. He's going to be shy. Cameron leaning forward, didn't get there. Ran him right up the middle and didn't get there. And with that, the Cats are going to turn it over on downs, and we're hearing the disco, J. Paul.
They're happy over there. I mean, That it's just that you always expect a short run on 4th and short, and I think maybe something that they could try is line up in shotgun, freak him out, make him use a timeout or something, and then throw something crazy. But that's really the textbook thing to go to right there, that run up the middle, and see if your offensive line is stronger than theirs. But I think, unfortunately, they lost that battle, and it's going to be a turnover on down. So let's see what the defense can do.
Let's see what the defense can do. The Dragons of red, white, and blue going from our right to left. Quarterback in under center, I formation. Hand it off to that fullback. Tackle him right there. Justin Giza pulling him down. Able to fall forward, though. There, Josh Lafley gained some, but Giza had his hands right on him as soon as he got the ball.
And, they haven't really established much of a running game except for the quarterback. They've been running a lot of type option plays, but I really don't think they've given the running back that many chances to, get some touches on the football.
Right, and Isaiah Blake, the running back, has only had maybe one big running play up the field. That was earlier on in the first or second quarter. But, really, like you said, it's been the quarterback.
Quarterback's going to try to throw it over the middle, and he's got a man incomplete, and he's going down the right side. He's got some space, and finally tackled inside the 25, down to about the 22. Nice throw, nice catch. That was Bryant Sheriffs to 21, Hannon Price, right over the middle, and looked like our backers were biting on something there, Jay Paul. And he threw it just sort of right behind him.
Yeah, I think the closer up linebackers and such were biting on a run and something really closer, and the safeties were a little too far back. So he found that space right in the middle, and they're going to hand it off here.
And they throw it, the little kid, number 2. Boy, that guy is quick. That's Sammy Williams, the sophomore, running around the right side, getting a couple down to 20. Second Nate there, Jack. They had, looks like trips right in the slot, and they ran right behind him, and everybody in the team blocking right there.
They really just packed it in. And when they go hurry up like they're doing now, it's just hard for the defense to recognize, what type of formation they're running.
Right, and that's big because, you tailor your defense to the opponent's offense if you're one of the best defenses out there. So that's a really big factor that they can run quick.
Hand it off to that fullback again, putting his head down. Cameron Seward in there, Giza's in there, Joe Bridges is in there. Who else? Middle linebacker Harrison Woodward in on that pile. Jack Schlafly, nothing fancy there, bringing down to 3rd and 6 here now.
It's somewhat reminiscent of a triple option. And, when you got the fullback going up the middle every single time, it's just a matter of your assignment, who you have, and you just got to make sure you check your man.
The quarterback's not going to fake it. He's going to roll out, looking for some space. We got our hands on him. Are they going to say, yeah, they dropped the cloud. They dropped the flag on that intentional grounding. And they got him all the way back at the 33, lost it down, back him up from there, out of field goal range, Jay Paul. Beautiful.
Absolutely. That's just textbook. There were maybe four Westminster guys that got penetration. One of them slipped on a cut by the quarterback, but he couldn't do much after that. So the quarterback tried to get rid of it, couldn't get it across the line to a receiver. Inside the tackle box, that'll be intentional grounding.
So that'll be like a 55-yarder. I know this kicker's got some leg, Jack, but probably not that much.
Yeah, that's pretty far. Even for Butker, it's somewhat of a stretch, which is definitely saying something.
And with the wind, too, it's really not something they want to look at. I think they're going to go for it.
Yeah, they're going to go for it because they figure the punt wouldn't get them much more than going for it here, so why not expect us to go back in that defense with a lot of defensive guys. He's going to try to throw it over the middle. He's got a guy that don't pick it off. No, he does. He runs up the right side. Let's make a play. Come on, Hayesmeyer. Let's see what you can do. Hayesmeyer taking it back to the 42. Past that original line. Hayesmeyer, 20 with the pick.
And you were saying not to pick it off, but he made it worth it. He got a couple back, and I think maybe one more block if they had it. He had 3 guys with him. Hayes would have been gone. He had all the lanes on the right. Only a couple guys to beat, but he couldn't quite get through. It was a very
Jack Slavy,
nice tackle.
That's Hayesmeyer's 4th pick of the year.
Wow.
The senior, one of the stalwarts of the season all year. Boy, he putting on a show tonight, Jack.
He just seems to be everywhere on the field. Every time you look at a pass, there's Hayesmeyer.
All right, number 6, that's McLean Bradley kind of moving. Jake's going to throw it to the short side. Tried to get it over there to Otley. He had turned around a little bit late, and it clanged off his helmet there. But timing a little bit off on that play, J. Paul.
Yeah, a little off. McLean Bradley dove into the left side. They rushed a lot of guys. Jake 40 got it, I think, right through the hands of the outstretched arm to 47. Got very lucky that didn't get batted down.
Yep. No, we got a whole row of Egan standing right in front of us. We got Cole Egan, we got John Egan, we got Mike Egan, we got Egan Central over here. We're going to put Cole Haverty in motion. Jake's going to keep it himself. Run up that left hash. Jake's got enough for the first. Moving the chains. Number 10, Jake 40.
Jake 40, what a run. I mean, that's so big when you can get your own quarterback able to, take it himself like a fullback, stay low to the ground, get the first down.
We got a murders row working on WCAT tonight. We got the Jennifer Doan, Will Miller, Jonathan Doan. We got everybody here. It's all-star night here
Absolutely.
at WCAT.
We've even got Wiley Ballard back from Georgia Tech.
Bringing in reinforcements. Chuck Easley's here. Sam Barkin. Unbelievable lineup. All right, Cats, 1st and 10, 7:08. We got to keep moving here, Cats. Again, down 2 scores. We can enter this 4th quarter, only down 1. We got a shot here, so still got oodles of time. Jake in the gun. A lot of time to get this playoff. And they're showing blitz off Jake's right side. Jake's going to look to throw. They bring that backer, and they get him.
God.
He had indicated with a little tipsy there, a little leaning forward there, that he was coming, and he ultimately did come in there, Jay Paul, and they sacked him all the way back at the 41.
A lot of penetration there. Offensive line couldn't quite handle it in that number 11. I think he was worrying a little more about the blitz from the right. He was ready to step left, but when a guy comes running straight at you, you really got to make something happen. It's a hard play, but Jake did all he could right now. Didn't make a silly decision, fumbling or intercepting a ball, but he got it off, took the sack. It's the right decision.
All right, McLean, they're showing pass all the way. No blitz this time. Now the safety's coming in. We got a body on him, and we got a nice play set up, a screen pass right over the middle. That's Joe Bridges pushing the pile forward past the original line. Gains about 13, 14 on the play, down to about the 45. Joe Bridges on a beautiful middle screen there, Schlafly.
And that was, as you said, the right play call. Right when they brought the blitz, we just had a mid-screen to Bridges and a lot of linemen releasing. So when you saw that pressure, you were thinking it was going to be bad, but when you see Bridges catch that drop-off pass.
Right, and Jefferson thought they were going to get Jake 40 off balance with so much pressure. They sacked him on the play before, so maybe they thought they could do it again. Beautiful play call, like you guys said, by Jerry Romberg, and he was very smart screening the ball to Joe Bridges, and he got some good yards. 3rd and 7.
No blitz this time. This time Jake's going to keep it himself again. He falls down. No gain on the play. Probably 4-down territory yet again with the ball sitting on the 43.5. Got to get to about that 37, so about 6 or 7 yards here we need to get the first. Everybody's looking over there. Otley's coming in. We're not punting this. Here comes Cole Haverty, the sophomore, 47. Off runs Kyle Murphy, and who's that? Big number 15, is that Bridges coming out for a spell? I believe so. So we got 4 receivers in. Haysmeyer left. Otley's in there. Cole Haverty. We're putting Haverty in motion. Jake's looking it all over. They're not sending anybody. It's going to be a pure throw. He's got the gun, and it's knocked down incomplete. He intended it for Myers, so we turn it out over again on down check. Had to go for it, but nothing there. Really cold. Jake really didn't have anybody open on that play.
And, a tough sack really set us back on that drive. And, the whole time we were just trying to recover. And we made it a pretty long way, but we weren't able to convert on that last down.
Right, and that's 2 drives that the Cats have really had to recover from big early on 1st down deficits. A sack on that play and 2 big penalties on the drive before. They really just got to find a way to start getting some 1st downs, get down the field, put some points on the board, see if your defense can do the same, and shorten this deficit here.
All right, this is gut check time for the Westminster defense. This is our season. We got to stop them right here. Jefferson Dragons come out in gun, 3 spread right, 1 left. Quarterback's going to run it around the short side. Got our hands on him, but he's going to shell him, and he might go down to the 40, the 35, the 30. We had our hands on him behind the line, and he goes in for the score. He went to the short side. They loaded up the right, and he went to the short side. There was nobody over there, and once we shed that one tacker, Jack Schlafly, he had free running all the way.
And, that was really just a good play call from them. As you said, they loaded up the right side and then just went right to the weak side, and it was wide open. He made a one-man miss, and, with his speed, he's gone.
That's Bryant Sheriffs. He's a quarterback, a senior, captain of the team, and the orange shoes here. About to try to get the extra point. He can kick it pretty good.
And Harrison Woodward and Ross Johnston on that play there, they both got touches on the quarterback, almost brought him down behind the line, and he just got lucky, broke free, had some good blocks, and he was there all the way.
And, on these, as we entered the 3rd quarter, halfway through, over halfway through. Our defense is going to start taking riskier and riskier schemes here, Jack. And when you do that, you can make some big plays, but you can also give them up.
And that's very true, you know. When you bring a lot of guys on a blitz, you're risking the deep pass. You're risking that pass over the middle for a big gain, and that's just something you got to do when you get in a deficit to come back. You got to take those risks and, you know, just hopefully get them in your favor.
All right, Cats down now 28-7, 4:26 to go. Coach Romberg urging on the troops. We're not out of this yet. I mean, we've been down in bigger holes before and come back and won the game. And there's nobody on this side of the field that's given up on this game. We're down. We're up in Jefferson, Georgia. Might as well play the rest of it, J. Paul, huh? What do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, I think I really wish we could get this online, but, you know, we've had a little trouble there. But it looks like the big orange cleated man will kick it deep.
Kick it off high and deep, and it's gone. All right, so the Cats will take over 1st and 10. And nice kick there. And the Cats will take over. Now we're kind of pinned back deeply at our own 20. But, you know, we've had some plays, Jack, where we get some positive yards, some 8, 9, 12 yards, 15 yards, but unable to get a string of those together.
You know, we've been pretty consistent. We were very consistent last week at Pepperell, and I think we're definitely having trouble with these disguised blitzes. They're bringing linebackers on the outside, but they're really bluffing it into coverage, or at least that's what we think, you know, and then they come.
Dancing next to him. A high snap right through the hands of Jake. He's going to run around the right side and go down. Takes this loss of about 8 yards or so back to about let's call it 7, back to the 13. Snap right through his hands. Looks like he took his eyes off that, J. Paul, before he actually got it.
Right, I think he was thinking about his receiver, thinking about the routes that are going on outside of him. His mind's everywhere at this point. I mean, he's really trying to get down the field, and they're going to start off at about a 2nd and 18. So another deficit. Let's see if they can dig themselves out of it. This is where you show your heart and your strength to come through here.
As Chuck Easley once said to me, we got to start with the basics here, just get some positive plays. Going to hand it off to Cameron, trying to go around that left side. Cameron gains maybe a few to about the 15, 16-yard line. Cats looking at a 3rd and 14. Seems like we've been looking at a 3rd and 14, Jack, here for some time.
And, you know, as we said, we've just had these tough losses early in possessions, early in drives, where we just set ourselves back. And it's hard to come back from 2nd and 18 when, you know, the defense for the other team, and Jefferson in this case, is playing pretty well.
Yep, they certainly are. Jefferson has got some great athletes here, and they're using that athletic ability. They're playing man-to-man on some of our receivers. This time Jake's going to be in the gun. And he's going to look to throw it. They don't only have a 3-man rush, throw it over the middle, but I think he's going to be shy. But we're probably going to go for it again, even though we're all the way back at our 28-yard line. Got to get to the 30 after that kick into the end zone. Let's see what Jerry decides to do. Ball now marked at the 27. He's going to send on the punt team. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the right decision at this point. I mean, we just saw the Patriots last night score 35 points in a quarter, so I think they've got enough time to – with that 15, 20-ish minutes on the clock. A lot of time in the fourth quarter. I mean, they've got timeouts. They've got 3 timeouts. They've got enough time to make 3 touchdowns happen for sure.
All right, and Harrison will be kicking with a side wind. The wind is coming from behind us into the back of Jack Schlafly's legs and across the field. All right, Harrison standing back at his own 15. Ball again marked at the 27. Look for the fake here. They're watching for that fake. Good snap. He'll kick it. High kick, boomer, over the head of the would-be receivers, way over the head. Oh, my goodness. Now down inside the 5, down to the 3.
Unbelievable.
That was from the 27-yard line to their 3. Let's figure that out. It's 23 plus 47. That's a 70-yard kick with no return. Oh, my goodness. And there's a flag on the play.
See who that's on. I mean,
a 70-yarder, Jack Schlafly. You ever seen that before?
That is professional status right there.
Beyond professional.
I
don't see any punters in the NFL do that.
That is a 70 and no return.
That is Brad Wing status, and he is pretty impressive.
I mean, that was that punt went into air traffic control at Atlanta Hartsfield Airport. Oh my goodness.
They had
that had landing rights.
Oh yeah, they had the landing gear down. I mean,
Oh my!
Landing gear was in our favor.
Put your seat backs up, and your tray tables, and they're full in upright lock position.
Some tasty peanuts on the
Yeah.
airplane, too.
No, it had enough time up there to eat a couple snacks.
That was a 70-yard punt. I hope it had its passport, Jack.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness! What a
Oh, we got to
beautiful
redo
kick.
it. All right, time for another show.
Let's do it again. He can top himself.
Gas it up.
All right,
Gas it
so
up.
so we're gonna have to get the re-kick this thing.
On-time departure.
Jerry's saying that was a penalty after the play, and he's saying nuh-uh, that was in the process of. He's saying you mark it from the end there, but apparently not. We're gonna have to re-kick this thing half the distance, so the ball will be placed at the 14, and the Cats will be, let's call it the. Wow, they moved the. We had the ball in the 27, by the way. Now they have the ball back. They had the guy moved it back to the 25. Do you see that? Didn't we have the ball at the 27?
Yeah,
so now they're saying the ball is going to be at the 12 and a half. Should have been at the 13 and a half.
I believe so.
What? I mean, you see it because he started to run down the field.
Yeah.
Even these guys sometimes make mistakes. He made a little estimation there, but all right. So Harris is now standing in his own end zone. They've taken a few steps back, the would-be punt returners.
And they've got two back there. One's kind of blending in with the sidelines, hoping
Yep.
they don't see him.
And that 70-yard punt for Nutt, I know the Georgia Tech people are very happy about that. He kicks it off. And this one bounces in front of him. Different kind of punt there. And now it gets another Westminster bounce. So from the 12, oh, that's a horrible punt by Harris at only 54 yards and no return. What's he doing, Jack?
We have too many expectations.
Bit
for
of a
him.
puddle jumper on that one.
Oh, that's nothing. That's just Delta Connection there, J. Paul.
Still, I mean, they're back in their own territory.
That was a
That's
50
pretty average.
from the 12-yard line. That was a 52-yard punt with no return. Nice kick by anybody, but a high school kicker extraordinary. Harrison Butker riding the Butker train all year. 82 going to Georgia Tech on a full ride for kicking. What a kicker. Quarterback going to hand it off to that tailback, and that stacked up pretty good right there at the line. Giza in there, Harrison Woodward in there. Give me some more names over there, Jack. Who do you got?
We got
Clay Smith.
Clay Smith, big 75 in there all year.
Ross
What a
Johnson.
year. What a year Clay Smith has, and who could ever forget that interception at Wesleyan by Clay
Right.
Smith, J. Paul.
I mean, he pulled it right out of the air. He's had a couple batted balls, too. I mean, he's really put on a show. He's the captain of this team, more of a quiet captain. I happened to stumble on the Thursday Willies, and he was letting everybody
Oh, we
go
got
in front
him
of
there. Number 2, he scooted 3. Oh, no, number 2, he can run. Finally taken
There it
down.
is.
Nice tackle. I believe that was number
That was Jake Johnson.
Jake Johnson coming. We had him stacked up on that right side. He squirmed loose, and Jake had to run all the way across the field, but he's shy of the first there, J. Paul. Nice tackle by Jake Johnson.
I think he's the player to watch for next year. He's got so much potential, and we've seen it here tonight. He's just so athletic. He can bring down the best of runners, best of receivers. I mean, he's an athletic kid.
Quarterback under center now. They got the ball last time to Sammy Williams, who remains at tail. They're going to give it to the quarterback, going to go around the side. And, boy, he keeps it every time there's a big play. Reed Love in there, 53, and we throw him back. So it's going to bring up 4th and about 3 or 4. And Reed Love, here's another senior, Jack Schlafly. What a year by Reed Love.
And, he started at fullback, but I noticed today they gave him the start at right guard.
Yep.
Interesting.
I saw him the other day in the gym. I asked him about switching his number from 44 to 53, and he said, yep. I think they finally realized that I got a bigger hindquarters than some of the other linemen there, so they switched him from fullback to lineman. All right, clock ticking, 44 seconds now. They're looking to punt. We're showing block. We're sending everybody. He's going to run and fake it and go around the right side, and he will get the first. He goes down the right side. He gets down to the 35. We set the house at him. He saw it, and he made the intelligent play, J. Paul.
And that's the right thing to do, unfortunately. He's athletic enough to pull that in and rip for that right sideline. He got the first. Good play by them. Let's see. Defense has got to come up big here if we want a shot at winning this game. There's 31 seconds in the third quarter. Still enough time if we can make a stop. So.
And, Jack, I don't think that was a set play. I think he just saw it, and he just ran it himself.
It really was a smart play. He saw, as you said, during the play, the house was coming, and he just got out of there.
All right, quarterback now in under center. That one tail, the sophomore, smaller kid, run around that right side. He's small, but he's evasive, quick, and elusive. Those are all SAT words. Run him down, check.
Oh, yeah.
Not going to hear those again out of my mouth because I don't know many of them. But and that ends the third quarter. All right, not a great quarter for the Cats. We started off with great field position, but offensively really struggling, J. Paul, to get anything going.
Right, I think Coach Romberg's going to come out and tell these guys that if they can win the fourth quarter, I think that's the best show they can do. If they could have won the third quarter by even a touchdown, you've still got only 14 points to pull out of your hat in the fourth quarter. So
I still think we can do this.
It's
It's 28-7. We got 3 timeouts. 12 minutes to go in this game. We're going to use every tick of it. Nobody's giving up on this side. If we were going to give up, I think we'd go home already. The buses, I'm looking over there, they're not running. So, we're going to play the fourth quarter, and we're going to play it hard. We're going to try to beat them right now. They're looking at a 2nd and long after that fake punt there, Jack, and Cats are going to have to dig deep here. Part of this is mental. Part of this is trying to dig down and decide that, you're still going to play football. You're not thinking about other things. You're not thinking about winter sports. You're thinking about this game right now, and we're going to step up, and we're going to play as hard as we can to the last final play, J. Paul.
And that's what it takes. I mean, you got to have that desire, and there's no doubt the Cats have it. It's every game in the playoffs, the seniors are thinking this could be our last game. So they're going to leave everything on the field. Like you said, there's so many of them out there. Reed Love, Nigel Walker, tons of them. Hayes Meyer, Joe Bridges. Jake Forty's still with us for next year. We've got a lot of returning juniors, and so we've still got a lot to look forward to next year. But still, this team's got a very good shot.
Again, one of the mysteries of life, why children will refuse to wear warm clothing on a cool night. All right, they're going to look to throw it going into the fourth quarter. High and over the middle. The intended receiver batted away and incomplete finally. It went off 4 guys. There was a ping pong ball back there off the bumpers and finally hit the ground.
A shot to be intercepted by Jake Johnson. He got a couple hands on it, but it was jarred away by either the helmet or a flailing body part of a dragon there. A Jefferson dragon, of course.
Yes, Hayes Meyer was in that. Jake Johnson in over there, and we're joined by Sam Barkin. Sam Barkin, the loquacious Sam Barkin.
It's an SAT
and
word.
And by the way, that
SAT
word was dedicated to Bart Griffith. And we're going to pull him out. 3rd and long. That quarterback going to keep it. He's going to cut up the middle. What a run! And he's going to go! He just juked his way right through that line. He got right by Cameron Seward. He juked him right, went left, and then he cut around him and went in for the score.
I mean, the issue's been for this defense is just that quarterback is so mobile and agile. He's able to just, if he gets past that first level, the second level really isn't much of an issue for him. He's got so much speed to burn people, use his sidelines, use his field space. He's just been a showcase here tonight.
And Cameron was standing there, and he was unblocked. He was not more than a couple of yards away, but his momentum was going forward, so the guy kind of took a step to the right.
Yep.
And then Cameron went that way, and he went back left, and then he was gone. All right, the orange shoes are in. Boy, there's a trademark. That kid's wearing those orange shoes.
Through the uprights.
He kicks it up and through.
Hit the flagpole.
It's hard to hit that flagpole, and he hit it. I wonder if you get a hole-in-one for that. Does that count?
It's pretty precise
Might
aim.
be a 2-pointer.
All right, Cats down 35-7. All right, time now to dig, Cats. All right, here we go. 11:44 to go. Cats down in a big hole, and we got a lot of fighting to do here to get out of this one. That quarterback, wow, what a run there, Sam Barkin.
Oh, well, right you are, Bill. The stats for today's game, he's got 15 carries for 265 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's quite a performance. But he's been killing us all game. First half, he had some great runs, that 72-yard run all the way down to the 1-yard line. And then they scored on that resulting drive. Plus 2 more unbelievable runs for touchdowns. He's really been hurting us today.
And John Egan shows up. John Egan, and a former football player here at Westminster with the shortest hair I've ever seen on John Egan. Boy, that guy's up in Georgetown really working the Clippers up there apparently.
Absolutely.
Up there in the Washington, D.C. area.
Absolutely. They don't need to keep very warm, I guess.
No, they kick off very quickly, and we're going to return it. It's McLean Bradley, I believe, off that.
Go McLean.
His right side, and he runs right up the hash, gets to about the 28. Nice north-south running there by number 6. Boy, what a great run there. The junior, McLean, really a big kid there, Sam Barkin, but nice return.
Oh, yeah, well, good play there by McLean to read the kick team well, read its blocks and managed to get up there. It really was a nice return. Gives us some pretty good field position to start our drive. Hopefully we can punch it in here. It's not over yet. Not over till the clock says 0-0-0.
It's not over until it's over. All right.
Exactly, Yogi Berra.
Jake 40 in there. And he's going to hand it to Nigel. He's going to run up that right side, try to get some positive yards. Stacked up pretty good right at the 30. Maybe gained a 2 on that. And brings up a second and about 8 there, Jay Paul. Nigel Walker, there's an athlete too, and he has really had a heck of a year. You know, he's played both ways. Playing a lot more corner back this year than he had in previous years. And he had a couple of great plays. I think the key one was chasing down that Wesleyan kid to save a touchdown in a long run. Came out of nowhere to do that. What a play by him.
I was going to mention it if you didn't, but just a phenomenal play. We saw Jake Johnson do it on the other end over here. A lot of hustle and effort by these Wildcats.
Low snack by 40. He's going to throw it right out there. I believe is that number 9? Moving the chains.
Just about.
First down, Wildcats. We like that positive play, simple play, an out pattern. Who's that, number 18 on that catch for the Cats?
Yeah, I believe so.
Jack Shelton on that?
Actually, I believe
either Jack Shelton or
number
Conrad
19,
Cornell.
Conrad Cornell.
Conrad Cornell. Let's give both the credit for that. Get the double stats going there. Both. Jack Shelton also a senior. He's really contributed a lot this year. And Conrad Cornell, of course, he's been all over the place for the Cats this year. In motion, Kyle Murphy, another senior. They're blitzing up the middle. Jake, a little reverse screen, and it's incomplete. Jake was hit pretty good, and he's been helped up by Nigel Walker, but it falls incomplete, brings up a 2nd and 10. Look, try to put a little deke on that we're going to our left there, Barkin, and then go right, but didn't have enough time to get that executed properly.
Well, it was a well-drawn-up play. Good call there, but unfortunately didn't work out in our favor. Slow developing play, and we really didn't get it off. Unfortunate, but good news is this was first down. We've got 2 more chances, maybe even 3 to get it the next 10 yards.
Yeah, I think if Jake 40 had a couple more seconds there, he would have. And it was just that blitz came so fast he didn't have time to see it develop and for those receivers.
Jake going to go option right, then flip it out right. Ball's fumbled on the bad pitch, but it went out of bounds. I think we lost a couple on that play. Again, more WCATers here tonight. You got Andrew Shackelford, one of our main cameras. I believe the shot you're looking at right now. Can't say enough about that Andrew Shackelford. We're in the warm hat tonight. How about that, J. Paul? Warm hat for the Shack.
He's the Eskimo over there, and his elder brother Matthew Shackelford, not to be forgotten.
Never can the Shack brothers. Who can forget them?
Exactly, and he had the interview of Elizabeth Allen that you saw at halftime, and just a wonderful job there. And Jake 40 gets the ball.
Throw some more blitzing at us. Jake's Danson's going to look to try to throw it out there. He got him in, and it's complete to number 16. That's Nelson Douglas. Enough to move the chains. Just got over that 50-yard line there, Sam, and first down.
Well, Jake, this entire game has done a fantastic job at avoiding pressure. He did it multiple times in the first half, avoiding a sack, and he did there handle the pressure almost like Eli Manning in that Super Bowl in 07, just getting away. And he managed to get off.
I know that's what popped into my mind there, Sam.
And I'm a huge fan of Eli Manning, but Jake really been showcasing his mobility there. And Nelson Douglas, once again, he's had a lot of clutch plays on defense and offense, and once again coming up big there.
All right, Jake going to roll right, look for a couple of receivers. Now he goes back left, throws it up high, and it's complete. Unbelievable play and catch.
Johnson.
He threw it up so high in the air, it almost created rain there, and it came down, and it was completed. He threw it way up high there, Jay Paul, but a nice catch and throw there for the Cats.
Ross Johnson has been a huge factor on defense this year, but to see, we just saw him go in at tight end there and go up and make a basketball-like rebound on that duck.
He went up at least 2 feet there, Jay Paul.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he got that vertical, got up, pulled it down, and got the almost moved the chains for the Cats.
Cats moving the ball. Now second short, and you know how much I love second and short.
It's like a free play.
Good snap. Going to hand it off right up the middle. Oh, I don't think he got it. Handed it off. I believe that was to Nigel Walker. And he's shy, so it's going to bring up 3rd and 1. Ball sitting at the 40. And I want to make sure that we name every single one of these seniors before we get going here. 8:50 clock ticking. And we're going to go through every single one of them. James Sanders, we mentioned a couple of minutes ago. Chip Capper, who's been injured a lot this year. Kyle Murphy's been seeing a lot of time. 3rd and 1, ball sitting on the 41. Now we got Ross now. Now we're going to show and run. We're going to hand it off to Nigel, and he's stacked up well behind that first down and line, and danced right there, Chuck, but unable to get across the original line of scrimmage. And we're going to be joined by Chuck Easley. Chuck is transferring from J. Paul to his head, and that's a tremendous amount of adjustment to the headsets. You go from J. Paul.
Flexibility.
You know, he's got all that hair, and then you got Chuck, and, you know, it's a whole thing going on there, Chuck.
Absolutely.
But 4th and 5, we're going to go for it here. Let's see if we can get a positive play. 8:04, clock ticking. Jake's going to go under center. He's going to put Chris Otley in motion. See what we can get it here. He's going to roll right, look to throw it.
Should be able to get it.
Yep, and he's got a man, and that's a first down for the Cats. Simple play.
Yep.
Didn't go for too much there, but got what we needed.
Absolutely. I mean, their defense has a soft spot from about 8 yards to about 15. You just have to be patient and work it from sideline to sideline, and we took advantage of it there.
Guys, looking like they're a little bit down. I know it's expected. We're down 35-7. They've got that quarterback who seems to be able to turn it upfield and break it whenever he wants. But Cats got to keep battling here, Sam Barkin.
Well, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right, Bill. They do. And the way to do it is just to keep chipping away those 8-yard, 15-yard passes. Like Chuck said, the hole in their defense to try to just, like they did right there, a great play there to, I believe that's number 12, Kyle Murphy.
Yep.
Keep having little plays like that. Getting out of bounds also helps with the clock doesn't run forever. But if they just keep chipping away, hopefully the Cats will be able to get back a little bit in this.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things at a point like this is you want to finish on a positive note, get what you can. We're moving the ball, good things are happening, and, you know, the guys just have to understand we got to get first downs in order to eventually get touchdowns. So,
all right, taking what the defense will give them. But Jake is going to stand there and roll right again. They're making him roll a little bit more now. He's got a little bit of time. He's going to throw it deep. He's got trying to go for Otley. Oh, just thrown a little bit far away. When you're rolling right, you know, Chuck, we've talked about all the time, the ball will not go straight. Will kind of fade on you a little bit, and that's what happened there.
Exactly. It'll sail on you. And the biggest thing there is everything laid out nicely. It's just that anytime you either get flushed out in the pocket or you're running to the sideline, you have to do two things. You got to get your shoulders parallel to the line, and you have to get your feet set. If you don't, all that momentum is going to catch the ball up in the air, and it'll pull away from you just like that one did.
All right, 3rd and 5. Cats got the ball on the Jefferson Dragon 30-yard line. They're showing blitz again. Running option, just keep it. Nope. And now he pitches it. Nigel fumbles it, trying to get the ball out of bounds, and they got the ball. It looked like Jake had it there. He's got his hands on his knees. He's upset with himself, but he's trying to get a little bit more there, Chuck.
Yeah, he felt touchdown instead of first down, and, you know, it was it's a tough play because when you do that pitch, you almost want to step to the guy. You don't want to pitch it up in the air. You want to step to the guy because he's running full speed. It looked like Nigel had to elevate, try to catch it against his chest, and that doesn't work well when you're out in space like that.
Yep, you're running down the field and you're looking sideways, and it's tough. But, well, look, 7:06 to go. They've got the ball. We're down 35-7. Doesn't look like it's going to come up the Cats' way. We're going to keep battling, going to keep trying, but these guys are good, and we've been unable to get anything going. They're going to give it to that fullback, and he doesn't get much. And but, Chuck, I'm going to ultimately here, we got a couple other people who are going to be taking over the broadcasting. I think this is our 6th or 7th year broadcasting together, and I spend as much time with you as I do with my family. And I just want to say what a pleasure it has been. Again, you're really good at this, and I have no idea why you hang around me.
No, I enjoy this. This is a blast. I love the way that you call the game. I think the whole WCAT team is just outstanding. It's great to be a part of it, and I think we have a lot to be proud of in terms of how we started and where we are now. I think we set a standard for a lot of broadcasts, and, you know, additionally with the program too. I think there's a lot of good things pointing forward. We just have to finish with our head up and finish strong.
Nice tackle there. I believe that was number 34. We talked about him last week, Sam Barkin, but great tackle there by Sam Allen. He came over from the linebacker position.
Well, he's been getting more and more time as the season has gone on. In the first 2 or 3 games, he wasn't much of a player. But due to injuries, Graham Powell's a significant injury. He's not playing today. But he stepped in. He's done a great job. The senior in his what may be his final game here in a Wildcat uniform. He stepped up, made a great tackle there. Got his shoulder on the defender, on the running back, and knocked him down.
3rd and 6. Jefferson's going to hand it off to that back, the sophomore, number 2. Boy, he is fast. Got enough for the first. He's still on his feet and goes down around the 47-yard line, moving the chains. So John Egan walking by with that haircut. I tell you, they are cutting that hair up in Georgetown. Look at the hair on John Egan. Unbelievable. We got to get a shot of that. Unbelievable. Had the mullet senior year, but we're going to get him on the air. And But this has been a tremendous amount of fun. WCAT, as you guys know, we've said it before, best in the nation. We've had people tell us that. And there's a shot of John right there. Another young man not wearing a coat. Don't understand it. But apparently it's the thing to do. And we're going to get another play in here before we turn it over to our exclusive interview here with John Egan. All right, they're taking all the time they can. And finally, we got a timeout. All right, what do you got down there?
John Egan, an alumni, as Bill mentioned, with a little shorter haircut than usual, up at Georgetown, playing a little football there. How's your time been up at Georgetown?
Georgetown's been an awesome experience. The program's been great. We went 8-3 last year. Unfortunately, we had kind of a disappointing year, 5-6 this year, but we're excited for the future and hope to keep it rolling.
And you've built upon your Cats experience. How has the transition from high school ball to college ball been maybe a little bit different for you, or what's the game difference like?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I really miss playing football for Coach Romberg and the Cats, but unfortunately my coach was in Coach Romberg's wedding, so they're pretty similar. They've got a lot of the same mannerisms and everything, so it's been a pretty easy transition.
So has Georgetown been pretty similar to Westminster for you, kind of a smaller school, a little bit more compacted, very close with your teammates? Do they have sort of a family system?
Yeah, no, the team is great. They're obviously, some of my best friends, and you'll always be best friends with your teammates no matter where you go. And Georgetown is a smaller school, but it's an awesome fit, and it's been a really good time.
Glad to have you back here with us, supporting the Cats during this playoff run. You had a lot of playoff time yourself. And what's it like to play after Thanksgiving break?
I mean, it's a one-of-a-kind experience. Unfortunately, I only played one time after Thanksgiving break, and we made it to the second-round game and weren't able to get past it. But it's a really fun time, and I'm just, proud of this team and proud of where we've come.
John Egan, thank you for coming back.
All right, Keller, great interview. Got John Egan and Elizabeth Allen, the Rhodes Scholar, in the same day. That's John Egan and a Rhodes Scholar in the same day. First time John Egan and Rhodes Scholar have been used in the same sentence there, Chuck.
That's an interesting way to put it.
I love John, one of the greatest young men I've ever met. He's been to Guatemala with me, building stuff. He is phenomenal. By the way, just the fact that I'm saying Rhodes Scholar is the first time that I've been able to. But Elizabeth Allen, what a tribute to our school and to her. Unbelievable. So, but we got a penalty on the Cats. We got Daniel Searle talking to us. And again, it's so interesting doing these broadcasts. You learn so much. People communicate with you. You have absolutely no idea what's going on half the time.
Absolutely. You got to understand sign language. You got to understand body language. You have to understand just inference, all kind of little things. And we pull it off.
All right, Sam, this is going to be a great turnaround for the Cats. You think about the big picture. We started 2-4. Here we are in the second round of the playoffs. We had some heartbreaking losses. We played out a schedule. When you looked at it at the beginning of the year, you're like, where are the wins going to come from? You had
loaded
St. Pius and Woodward and, all these teams that we played that are in higher classifications. And
made it to the playoffs.
And here we are in the second round of the playoffs, final 16. Sam, we got absolutely nothing to hang our heads about.
Oh, well, Coach Romberg, he does this every year. He does a fantastic job at scheduling difficult non-conference opponents to prepare us for the playoffs, and that's what we've done. Record-wise, this has not been our strongest team in the past few years, but obviously we had a great win at Pepperell last week, and this week to get to the second round again has been quite an accomplishment. And for all these seniors, they should not hang their heads at all. They have had a great season, a bunch of outstanding performers, both if it was starters, fringe players, scout team. They've had done a great job so far.
Cole Lacasio working the director or producer or some other technician type of spot over there.
Grande.
J. Paul Meyer back there working the graphics. Jennifer Doan back there. Keller Austin. Jonathan Doan. The Shack attack over there with that big black hat. Don't forget, a fumble on the play. Jake's going to run around the right side. Make a positive play there, Chuck.
That's right.
Still battling with 2:13 to go. Cats still got our kids in there, and they're still battling.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to finish strong. We're going to finish with our head up. I think the biggest thing is you want to have positive things happen. I mean, some things didn't go our way tonight. And the biggest thing that happens is in most games, you're going to have about anywhere from 3 to 7 plays turn, even though you may play anywhere from 100 to 120 plays. So it's tough that, early on a couple went our way and then others didn't. We learned from it. Continue to stay together, whether win, lose, or draw, and make the most of it and move forward.
Now, most of our skill position guys are underclassmen, so we're going to look to have them back next year, ball batted down. But the one guy we're going to miss the most is running out of the field is number 82. This will be the final punt and final kick in the career of Harrison Butker, who has set all kinds of records, Sam.
Yeah, well, this entire season he has been a big advantage. I remember the Laney game. He had some huge field goals that led to our win over there in Augusta. But he's been an outstanding player going to Georgia Tech, as we've reiterated many times throughout the season. But he's been a great help to us, really been one of our MVPs, you might say, most valuable players. And we sure are going to miss him next year.
There he is, Harrison Butker kicking it, one of the greatest kickers in the history of our school. Kicks it to a nice coverage down there. Nice evasive move by that, and finally thrown down by Harrison Woodward. Nice tackle there. So with 1:54 to go, that should be the career of Harrison Butker. What a tremendous performance by Harrison. Unbelievable. All right, I want to name some of the other seniors here as we start to wrap up this game. Reed Namnoon had a great year. Justin Giza, Clay Smith, Robert Howell, great helper or great part of the one of the centers who got most of the time this year. John Coffin, let's see, Ted Candler, Trip Riddle, one of the main guys in our line. Clay Shaw was in there. Harrison Woodward all over the field. Joe Bridges, two of the guys who really got so much playing time. There goes number 2 around the left side. He's so fast. And let's see, who else we got? Number 12, Reed Love, playing both sides of the ball. Chaz Egan, what a contributor he is, and what a great young man he is. Sam Allen, that linebacker. Nigel Walker. Andrew Gorham was in there a lot. Connor Bennett had some great plays. Merritt Hubert, as we joked, had the catch of the year, but really played linebacker and receiver. Great player for the Cats. Stewart Woods, Hayes Meyer, playing all over the field. I don't know how Hayes is able to even walk anymore. He's played virtually every minute of the game all year long. Unbelievable athlete. Jack Shelton had some good catches this year. Gardner Five-Ash. Kyle Murphy, been very important receiver for the Cats. Chip Capper got hurt early, but one of our long snappers, and James Sanders. So I think I got them all, Chuck. But that was they had a heck of a year, and really for most of these kids, they're never going to play football again after these 58 seconds go by as they take knees.
True.
This is the end of their career, and that happened at one point with you. And what does that feel like?
Well, you begin to reflect. I mean, at every level, whether even if you play pro, it doesn't last forever, and you start to realize that, it's the last practice, it's the last game. Ideally, you want to win the last game that you play. But, that's part of life, and if everyone could do it, it wouldn't mean as much. So I think for this team, the way the season started out, the way they stuck together, the way they finished, they accomplished something that teams that may have had a better regular season didn't do. They got to the second round, nothing to hang your hat on, and I think they should be very proud. And they'll remember what they're able to work through this year and how they were able to make it to the second round, and that in and of itself is a positive note.
Sam Barkin, again, they've had some phenomenal wins. They've been able to get into the second round final, 16 in the state of Georgia. This group of players, led by those seniors, 53 Directors' Cup points for the Wildcats. They battled hard. Great win on the road last week. Really a great year for the Cats.
Well, I've got to give utmost congratulations on a great season. They've been they went to Vero Beach all the way back in July, but ever since then they've been working hard, giving their all, 100% practice, and in the games, and they've had a great season. Also like to give a shout-out to the cheerleaders. They've had a great season as well. But these Cats, they've really persevered through some hardships, some injuries. Sam Schmall's really been out the entire year, and he was supposed to be a key cog in this line, offensive and defensive. Ross Johnson was out for a while. Some other key players, Stara Woods has been out the entire season with his knee. But the Cats have done a great job, and I'd really like to thank all the seniors for doing a great game out there, and just congratulations.
All right, Jefferson will go on and be playing Fitzgerald next week, I'm been told by our crack staff here at WCAT. But my final thought for the year, Chuck, is Jerry Romberg. He is a great teacher of men, young men, and as I've said before, even older men like me. He's a gentleman, someone who has really done a phenomenal job. Jerry Romberg talks quietly but garners the respect of every single one of these kids and just does a great job coaching and teaching people not only about football but about life.
Oh, absolutely. Inside of this whole gridiron experience is all about preparing you for life, teaching you lessons that carry over off the gridiron. I think Coach Romberg is a great example of that. Obviously, the way that, he was able to hold the team together with the, a start where we were coming into region play kind of behind the 8 ball, held them together. The seniors stuck together. We finished strong. Again, able to make it to the second round. I think what he embodies and what he teaches in terms of really the sense of family, supporting each other, is all what this program is about. We'll build from this. We'll grow from this. We'll learn, and we'll be better. So
there's Joe Bridges. Sam, final thoughts. Sam Barkin.
Oh, well, I'd just like to note Vidalia has lost to Fitzgerald. That's just a note. So that's who the Dragons will play next. But I really just like to give my congratulations again to the entire team, the coaching staff, the cheerleaders, all the parents who come out here every game, and the fans who come out, support the Cats. It's been a great season. It's been a pleasure to call some games alongside you two.
All right, well, Sam Barker, thanks so much. Chuck Easley, everybody here from WCAT. We'll see you on our next broadcast, which will be shortly. But congratulations to the Westminster Wildcat football team on a great season.
Outstanding. Go Cats.